Lucky old card.
Let's go!
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma.
This hour is brought to you by the Harnish Auto family.
Give me a freaking auto!
This is Brock and Salk
Brock Ewart is my hero.
Jamie Buhner just punched me in the kidney.
on Seattle Sports.
We're going to excuse you on the interview.
Doesn't really work that way, Sherm. This is a show that has my name on it.
It kind of does, though.
Brought to you by Simply Seattle.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Eward and Mike Salk.
Yeah, hi, Dave. Hi, everybody else. It's Brock and Salk Show, Seattle Sports, 710, seattlesports.com. Seattle Sports app and all the podcast platforms out there as well. I mentioned that Seattle Sports app. We talked a little bit about it yesterday. And we got some, what are we calling them? They're not really voicemails. They're voice memos, kind of. They're just little messages you guys left us that all start with, hey, so here's the thing. And we got those for you at 8 o'clock. You can download the app, and you can figure out how to leave us more messages. Anyway, I had a question for you guys. It's nice to be back in studio. It's nice to be back here after a couple of days operating from the basement. It's nice to be back in studio to see you guys in person. Feeling a little better today, which is good. Couple of crazy Mariner wins certainly help with all of that. That's a nice way to go to bed and wake up and be here.
I've always said that's the best health plan. My sports team just winning.
It does help. It is really kind of amazing how much that helps. It does lead me to wonder, because I didn't see this necessarily as much the last couple days, who's more unhinged? Texters, tweeters, or Brock? Just as a question, who's
Brock's
more
both sometimes,
unhinged?
So I think I'm going to go Brock.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out who's the most unhinged. The people on Twitter, which is why for the most part I've stopped using it. The people on our text machine, which I'm reading now, those who want to fire Scott during the game last night, and then just Brock in general. But I think for the moment we'll lead with this whole pinch hit thing last night, because this got people up in arms. And I will admit, I didn't really like this move either. So you think through the game last night, 1-1 game. By the way, that's a pitching duel. We've talked about games where the Mariners make an opposing pitcher look good, and they do. Last night was a pitching duel. Justin Verlander, George Kirby, both guys dealing. Canzone thankfully comes up with the home run. Kirby gives up a couple of really weak contact singles to end up giving up his run, and you win it in the 10th, 2-1. That is an old school, fantastic pitching duel. And if they hadn't given these teams the option of putting a runner on second to start the 10th, that had the makings of one of those 15, 16 inning games.
Yeah, which I was not ready for, especially after.
Of course not.
Yeah, not sounding good.
So let's address what happens in the ninth.
There were. Do you know how many strikeouts were in that game?
Total?
Yeah.
32?
29.
It's pretty close.
That's a lot of strikeouts.
It's a lot of strikeouts. Yeah, there's a lot of velocity that a lot of guys couldn't catch up with. Really good breaking stuff to go with it. Anyway, so you get to the ninth inning and you end up with a runner on third, right? And one out. Well, Scott decides to pinch hit. He's got Rojas up, been one of the better hitters on the year, and he pinch hits the rookie for him, Ryan Bliss, which is what leads people like 360 to say Scott Service is a moron. He pitch hits for Rojas, our best hitter, with the rookie Bliss with a winning run on third, one out. Bliss strikes out. What a dumb bleep manager. Luckily, we won the game in the next inning. That's how it went down yesterday, according to the 360 in Olympia. Scott Service is a moron for pitch hitting for Rojas.
That was a good at bat from Bliss.
It's a very good at bat.
No matter what you thought of the decision, it's not like he went up there and just whiffed 3 times in a row.
So here's I thought about, because I will say, I don't think I would have made that move. I think I would have let Rojas hit in that situation. I don't always, disagree with Scott. In fact, I probably tend to agree with him a lot more often than I disagree. I would disagree on this one. I don't think it's a fireable offense. I don't even really think it's a criminal offense. But I would say that I would have left Rojas in. You want to know why he didn't? Well, let's look at it. Hader is nasty. I mean, he's one of the best lefty relievers we've seen in years. And it's not just that he's got really good stuff. It's that he's got that funky arm angle and the herky-jerky and the whole thing. And this year, lefties have an OPS about 200 points lower than righties do against him. That's this year. Now, over the career, the splits aren't actually quite as different as you might think. But certainly this year, yeah, lefties have a 200 OPS lower than righties do. So that's pretty big. Rojas is 0 for 1 against him, so it's not like there's been a lot of history there. Now, Rojas this year, when he is allowed to hit lefties, is 3 of 16 with 6 strikeouts and no pop.
Yeah, it's a $188. Yeah, OPS 376, yeah.
3 of 16, 6 strikeouts, no pop. Rojas has not been good against lefties. That's a small sample size, but he's not been very good against lefties. So I think I still would have trusted him in that spot because all I'm looking to do is get contact. I'm looking to get the ball in the air, and I think I'm going to trust my veteran to get that done more than I'm going to trust a rookie. If I needed a hit, maybe things would have been different. I didn't. I just needed contact, and I think needing contact tells me that Josh Rojas is probably the guy. But I don't know that I think Scott did this wrong. Right? There's some advantages to Bliss. First of all, the lefty-righty thing is a big deal, especially against Hader. Second of all, you're putting speed at the plate, which is important because if Rojas with a man on first and third, it wasn't just a man on third, it was first and third. If you hit a ground ball double play and you're out of the inning, you're going to be real mad.
Yep.
And the chances of Bliss getting doubled up are obviously a whole lot less given his incredible speed. So there's a couple of reasons why you might go with Bliss. And then here's the last one.
Josh Hader is one of the toughest lefties in the league. It's a tough spot to put Ryan up in there. So you're on the team. You got to play. When the spot calls for it, you give him opportunity and see where they go with it. I have a lot of confidence in him. He had really good swings, just underneath it a little bit, and Hader got him. But he'll learn from it. It's a good experience for him, and next time he'll be better in that situation.
That's good experience for him, and next time he'll be better in that situation. It's May 29th last night. Mm-hmm. It wasn't September 29th. It wasn't October 10th. It was May 29th. And yes, even if it makes you mad sitting at home, managers manage games differently on May 29th than they do in September or October. And there's a damn good reason for it. First of all, the game doesn't matter as much as that may pain you. They're trying to win, absolutely. But they've already won 2 games in this series, and there is significant value when you look at an 162-game season to giving Ryan Bliss an opportunity to compete in that spot.
Great point.
You get to find out who he is. You get to find out what he's made of. And as Scott said, the next time he's up in that spot, which he may very well need to do, he's got the experience. Now, I don't know that I would have made the same move last night. Again, I think I probably would have stuck with Rojas. But I'm certainly not going to come on here and kill Scott for the decision he made. First of all, it was a good at bat, as Morris said. Second of all, he gave him experience. Third of all, they wanted the next inning. Chill out.
Was there a part of you that thought, okay, we're squeezing here? Like
Yes.
He's going to put the bunt down.
Especially after he had failed to get the bunt down the night before.
Do it again. There, a little chaos in the back of my mind. I was like, we're doing this.
It did flash through my mind because it was Rayleigh who was on first base, right? Who has a little bit of speed as well. And you're like, yeah, you could probably pull this off.
Ugh.
Yeah, I did think about that, actually. You're not the only one who, for whom, or maybe it was Cal who was at first. I forget. Regardless, yes, I did think about it. I'm guessing the Astros thought about it also, and that Bregman was playing in a spot that would have made that fairly impossible to pull off. But look, all right, so that play didn't end up working. It didn't work for last night. They win the game anyway, and you got the opportunity to find out a little bit more about Ryan Bliss and give him an opportunity that should help him down the line. So I understand the move. I understand why Scott did it. I think a lot of managers would probably agree with him, even though a lot of fans wouldn't. And based on the unhinged nature of our texts and various tweets and everything else, on this one, not on all things, on this one, I'm going to go with the skipper over the unhinged. We'll come back with everything you need to know next. Brock and Salk, Seattle Sports on 710.
Get the national perspective on the Mariners.
Swing and a miss and a slider, strike three.
With Jeff Passan, Tuesday mornings at 8:30.
The Mariners have arguably the best pitching staff in baseball. I think I'm probably taking the Mariners at the end of the day over every team in the American League right now.
And John Morosi, Thursdays at 5 p.m.
This is the team to beat in the division. And it's not just a hot take. That's what the numbers say, that they're the team to beat in the division.
We are Seattle Sports, the home of the Mariners.
Hey, Brock Heward here, and I have had my share of sports injuries, and I know a little bit about pain. Well, that's what football will do to you from head to toe. But you don't have to play professional sports to know what I'm talking about. Painful joints from arthritis can affect anyone and make it hard to do pretty much anything. Well, that's where my friend, Dr. Daniel Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine comes into play. He has seen so many patients through the years suffering from chronic joint pain caused by arthritis. So don't let pain stop you from your quality of life. Don't let pain stop you from enjoying life. Consider Dr. Nelson the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. That's right, your own stem cells and platelet-rich plasma to harness your own body's healing potential. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit danielnelsonmd.com. That's danielnelsonmd.com.
Access to quality healthcare is an important topic. So, let's talk about it. Optum Care Washington is here to make the health system work better for everyone by making quality primary and specialty care easier and more affordable. From Tacoma to Bellingham, you can see their top local doctors at more than 45 locations and get care on your schedule with innovative on-demand services. Learn about healthier care that's focused on you at Optum2024.com.
At Buc-ee's, we'll get you ready for summertime. From factory maintenance, AC, brakes, tune-ups, to oil changes, wiper blades, and tire rotation. It's Buc-ee's Complete Auto Repair. Carefree summer driving. No appointment needed and financing's available. Check Buc-ee's.com for the Buc-ee's near you.
Lexus is electrified, and the first ever RZ450E has the performance and range to get you where you need to go with the exclusive Lexus Direct 4 all-wheel drive technology. Lexus of Bellevue has over 50 RZs available for immediate delivery with electrifying savings up to $17,000 lease cash on every RZ450E. Visit LexusofBellevue.com.
On approval of credit through LFS, lease cash from Lexus available on select 2024 RZ styles. Must take delivery by June 3rd, 2024. A documentary service fee up to $200 may be added to the purchase price or capitalized costs. See dealership for details.
Want to listen to Seattle sports on your smart speaker?
Hey, smart speaker, play Seattle sports.
This message is powered by the EQC Sportsbook at Emerald Queen Casino. Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
At University of Maryland Global Campus, we give our students credit. Credit for deciding while stuck in traffic to get a bachelor's degree. Credit for managing 3 kids, 2 dogs, and a full-time job to pursue an MBA. Students at UMGC can use prior learning or relevant experience to earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's, and graduate students can transfer up to 12 credits toward their master's. Plus, get your application fee waived through May 31st. Flexible online and hybrid classes start soon. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
2 guys drove to work. Neither guy wore a seatbelt. One guy got a ticket. One guy didn't. The same 2 guys drove home. One guy wore a seatbelt. One guy didn't. One guy made it home. The guy not wearing his seatbelt didn't. Don't risk it. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
Listen throughout the week to the Mariners Player Spotlight.
Give props to Jerry and Justin. They did a great job bringing in these good group of guys.
Presented by Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
Key here is employee satisfaction. There is no expectation for customer satisfaction if the people that work with us don't feel taken care of and supported and loved. I'm proud of this Billy Johnson Auto family. I'm proud of our stores. And I need everybody to share in that mindset, because it makes a better experience for the customer, but also makes it a better place to work. Walking away from an interaction with a customer that says, I can't believe how easy this was. I can't thank you enough for helping me. Receiving a handwritten letter that's personalized to a salesperson or service advisor or a technician expressing gratitude, and then taking that home and sharing that with your family and hanging that on your refrigerator, that's the difference.
The LJ way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
This hour is brought to you by the Harnish Auto family.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Well, another night, another Mariner-style win as J.P. Crawford took his turn to send everyone home happy in the 10th.
The set to pitch. Swinging a fly ball. This will be enough. Plenty enough. Tucker is back in the corner. He makes the catch. Clase is racing home. It's a walk-off sacrifice fly from J.P. Crawford. He is hoisted in the air by the caveman Luke Raley at first base. And the Mariners have just won the series. They've walked off the Astros in 10.
All right, so when you see Raley pick up Crawford, it's easy to think like, yeah, Luke Raley, big dude, or J.P. Crawford, small guy, pretty easy to pick him up. J.P. Crawford's not a small guy. I just want to state that clearly for the record. When you see J.P. in person, he is not a small guy.
He's 6'2".
He's a big dude. He is. He is 6'2" and strong and meaty, and Luke Raley picked him up like he was nothing. Just like, yeah, no, I got it. Thanks. I'll just carry this sack of potatoes around. He picked him up like I pick up my dog.
Did a new nickname just drop? Has anybody heard
Caveman? I think it's pretty accurate.
I haven't heard that one yet.
Pretty nice night for JP, who had struggled, a couple of tough strikeouts, but gets it done when his team needed him.
Yeah, I mean, it shows that, collectively we just want to win. We know we're not there yet. Everyone's going through ups and downs right now. But at the end of the day, once we step on those lines, it's win the game. It doesn't matter about personal numbers or anything like that. And you see that a lot, 1 through 9 with this group.
Yeah, 1 through 9 is a good way of looking at it. And it also, I would say, goes into the pitching staff as well. It wasn't just what George Kirby did. He was fantastic for his 6 innings, allowed just the 1 run. And that came against pretty weak contact.
We didn't stray away from 2 seams in, all that kind of stuff. We really relied on the slider tonight, splitter, getting my curveball going a little more, kind of just using the whole arsenal tonight, which was really good.
Yeah, so he was very good, and then the bullpen comes in, and it's Thornton and Spire and Voth and Munoz, and then even the newcomer Bauman, who came in the 10th, and all threw zeros on the board and gave this offense a chance, and then another chance, and then another chance, and then finally another chance, and then finally a chance with a runner starting on second base to score 1 run, and they were able to get it done in the 10th. Now, you want an unsung hero for this game? I don't know how unsung he is, but he did 3 things that were awfully important to winning this one. First, Dominic Canzone hit a home run. It was the only run scored off of Verlander all day. Then, in the 8th inning, he made a defensive play that I don't think too many other right fielders on this team make.
It's on the way to Tucker, swinging a line drive into right field, coming in, Canzone dives, and he makes the catch. Holy smokes, what a catch by Canzone, sinking line drive into right field.
If he dives and misses that ball, it's at least a triple. If he doesn't get there, it's a single, and who knows what else happens. So, huge play there. And then in the 10th, to score the winning run, it was Canzone that hit a ground ball to the right side, moved the runner over to third, and ultimately allowed J.P. Crawford to win that game. So, nice little unsung hero award for Dom Canzone last night. 4 straight wins now for the Mariners. 3 of them come against the Astros with a finale today. Logan Gilbert looking for the sweep, the big sweep, against somebody named Spence Arrighetti.
I saw him play pitch against the A's.
Oh, that's who you saw?
Coliseum.
How do you look?
Not great.
Not great. All right. Well, Spence Arrighetti's got an ERA right around 7, and he'll go up against Logan Gilbert today.
Here's the second thing.
Does anyone really look good, though, in the Oakland Coliseum, or is it, partly the surroundings?
Nobody did.
Do the Seahawks have a sneaky good defense? You guys asked me last week who I thought was going to be better, Seahawks offense or defense, and I disagreed, I think, with all three of them. I think Brock, Mora, and Justin all said the offense. I said the defense. I think that
you didn't ask us to predict. You said, who's
Which is better.
Yeah.
Right?
Right. And it's hard to,
I just wanted to clarify, because I think the defense does have a chance.
Well, I think they might be sneaky good, and apparently Bucky Brooks and I are on the same side on this. I feel pretty confident in them. He said yesterday, or wrote yesterday, that McDonald might have a more talented unit in Seattle than he did with the Ravens last season. I don't know if I'm willing to go that far. That feels like a pretty big statement. But they do have loads of talent up front. They got a couple of intriguing players with upside on the edge, especially if Dre Jones plays out there, a deep secondary. They got linebackers that seem to fit their scheme better than they used to. So, yeah, if I'm high on any part of this Seahawks team, I think it's the defense, and especially given that that's McDonald's forte. If there's one part that I'm looking to see improve, it's them. The offense, I don't know that I'm quite as high on them. But for the defense, yeah, I kind of like what direction they're going.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
Oilers win 5-2 last night. They even up the series with Dallas now at 2 apiece. And we can finally put behind us all the Scotty Scheffler PGA Championship arrest story. As yesterday, the Jefferson County attorney Mike O'Connell said, those charges are going to be dismissed.
Mr. Scheffler's characterization that this was, quote, a big misunderstanding, close quote, is corroborated by the evidence. The evidence we reviewed supports the conclusion that Detective Gillis was concerned for public safety at the scene when he initiated contact with Mr. Scheffler. However, Mr. Scheffler's actions and the evidence surrounding their exchange during this misunderstanding do not satisfy the elements of any criminal offenses.
No kidding. Thanks for coming to the same conclusion that the rest of us did as soon as we heard and saw any of this. In any event, here's Steve Romine, Scotty's lawyer.
It's obvious he didn't do anything wrong. As I've said repeatedly, the more evidence that comes out, the more it shows that, Scotty was a victim here. It is remarkable the restraint and character he evidenced, not only during the incident, after the incident as he's being taken downtown, and in the press conference that day. We need more Scotty Schefflers in the world.
We need a debate between Mike O'Connell and Steve Romines just to hear them argue with each other and see if you can get, I don't know.
It's quintessential attorney.
A quintessential some attorney. I don't know if I would say, he's certainly an attorney you might find in the South. That's for sure. Oh, man, that's everything you need to know. 1/4 every hour here on the
movie attorney. That's what
Did you, the other thing that I saw in there is both sides in the agreement agreed to no further legal action. Did you see that?
I did.
I think that may have been a fairly key element of the whole thing. Like, hey, look, we're going to drop these charges. Don't sue us. Please, under any circumstances, don't sue the Louisville Police Department. We made a mistake. Well, this guy over here is a total idiot, and in a year, he probably won't be with the force anymore. We'll take care of that behind the scenes because this is his 9th complaint, and he seems like, a total loose cannon, egomaniac, etc.
Super bad.
I mean, he literally tried to do the super bad thing. He did donuts in the parking lot of a car with a drunk dude in the back.
He released a statement trying to kind of laugh it off, and
I'm sure he did.
He wishes Scotty the best and make it seem like it's all in fun. Oh, and the $80 pants, they do make. He tried to he's lighthearted, and we're like, no, sir, you are obviously not lighthearted. You're very dramatic.
Lighthearted after all that. You screwed up the PGA Championship, you idiot. No, that doesn't cut it. Not even close. Anyway, no lawsuits will be filed. We can finally move on from the whole thing. All right. We're going to move on here as well. We're going to go around the station. Bunch of good stuff on the other shows yesterday. I got stuff from Mike Blowers. I got stuff from John Morosi. I got some football stuff, including a comp for Mike McDonald. All of which you will want to hear next. Stick around. It's Brock and Salk, Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Seattle Sports, your home for Bump and Stacy.
Let's talk about Julio heating up.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
The best possible thing you can see is Julio playing well.
This is who this team is, man. The main component of this team is pitching and Julio. The pitching has been solid so far when he comes to the rotation. We've been waiting on Julio. I think there are 2 boxes checked so far. Rotation, Julio turning the corner, and then the third box is just the random contributor that you're going to get on any given night.
Don't miss an hour of the show. Find the podcast at seattlesports.com.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-838-6161. That's 800-838-6161. 800-838-6161.
At Lowe's, save big every day when you buy in bulk. Save 10% when you buy 68 or more OSB sheathing. Plus, get an extra 5% off every day on eligible purchases when you use your Lowe's business credit card. Visit us in-store or online for low prices on the materials you need. Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details. 5% offer subject to credit approval. Exclusions and terms apply. See store at lowes.com/credit for details.
This is Matt Coker from West Coast Men's Health. I'm proud to let you know that nationwide, our clinics have a 4.7 out of 5-star rating on Google. This tells you that our patients are really seeing results. Here's what some of them are saying. The results are close to phenomenal. On top of that, the staff and the scheduling are top-notch, and my technician is a consummate professional. Another patient said, I called numerous clinics, and West Coast was by far the best. The other places wouldn't give me any information over the phone, but West Coast answered all of my questions. My wife and I were skeptical, but we've already noticed the difference. This was a game changer for us. West Coast Men's Health has helped thousands of men reverse their ED using acoustic wave therapy. No pills or shots necessary. Give us a call today so we can help you too.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Transform your outdoor space with Synthetic Turf Northwest, the Northwest's leader in synthetic turf solutions for 28 years, serving Seattle, Tacoma, and Bellevue. Specializing in residential backyard golf greens, custom play areas, and pet-friendly systems, we create stunning, low-maintenance landscapes for every need. Our artificial grass systems offer unmatched durability and beauty tailored to your lifestyle. Plus, ask about our 18-month no-interest financing. SyntheticTurfNorthwest.com, 425-788-0718. Synthetic Turf Northwest, where expertise meets excellence.
We are Seattle Sports.
Going and going and gone. Goodbye, baseball. The Ken Jones.
The home of the Mariners.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Howdy, partner. The first Mariners Fireworks Night is coming up, and it's going to be a boot-scootin' spectacular. Join us this Friday for a post-game country music party presented by T-Mobile after the team squares off against the Angels at 7:10.
This is blasted out of here! Watch out all the way up top! Cal Raleigh with a go-ahead 7th inning grand slam!
Break out your Stetson and your Spurs and visit Mariners.com/fireworks to get your tickets and catch 2 great shows for the price of 1. Plus, check out the complete list of all 8 Mariners Fireworks Nights and can't miss giveaways coming to T-Mobile Park this summer.
Ball game! Julio! Rodriguez gets it done! Yes, sir! And the Mariners win it!
Mariners baseball. Giddy up and Tridents up.
Brock and Salk's Rewind is presented by Toyota of Kirkland.
This is Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Hey, what's a hangnail?
Are you serious?
You know, is a hangnail like when your nail is ripped a little bit and you catch something on it? Or is a hangnail when you get that thing
It's
like...
the skin, like at the root of your nail.
That's the hangnail?
Yeah.
I thought that was a cuticle.
I think that when it like tears up the side of your fingernail.
Right. That's a hangnail?
That's what I call the hangnail.
Interesting. I was always confused about that, whether it was the thing near the base of the nail or when your nail actually
The
rips.
definition says a small torn piece of skin next to a fingernail or toenail.
Ah.
Yeah.
So it is down near the base.
Like
Man,
that
those are
little guy.
frustrating. I got one of those little suckers, and it's just very, very frustrating.
Yeah.
Man, get rid of this. We're going to go around the station here. It's Brock and Salk, Seattle Sports on
Remember when
710.
Brock thought a cuticle was a cubicle.
Yes, I do remember. He's like, yeah, I just
He was
worried
like,
about my
"Did you
cubicles.
See Julio's cubicles?
He said that in spring training.
Sorry.
Like, no, I didn't see his cubicle, Brock. I feel like Julio gets his own office. All right, let's go around the station here, and I'll start with Pete Woodworth, who was on with Bump and Stacy a couple days ago. So he, of course, is the Mariners pitching coach, and this becomes even more relevant with what happened last night. So they go to the 10th inning, and pitching the 10th inning nowadays, a lot harder than it used to be, right? You got to have some sort of stuff to deal with the fact that you're starting the inning with this stupid zombie runner at second base. And last night, I thought the job was going to go to Saucedo. He's had that gig often for the Mariners, but he had pitched the night before, and he was just back from the DL for the IL. So I assume that, he just either wasn't available or that was not the first choice. And so instead, he decides to go with the new guy, Mike Baumann. Why Mike Baumann? Why was he here? Well, according to Pete Woodworth, it's an interesting process.
As soon as he got DFA'd when we were playing the Orioles, all of our hitters were like, we need to get that guy. That guy's disgusting. That was one of my least favorite at-bats of the season off that guy. And sure enough, like 24 hours later, we got the message that we had acquired Mike Baumann. So dreams do come true.
So I don't know whether that means that Justin and Jerry and their group listened to the players or if it was sort of happenstance. It's a little unclear listening to Woodworth there. Maybe I'll send a feeler out today, see if I can get an answer to that. But, and in fact, I think Justin Hollander's on with Bump and Stacy today.
Yeah,
so maybe they'll follow up and ask whether or not that was like a part of that deal. But I think that's fascinating. Baltimore ends up DFAing him despite the fact that he had pretty decent numbers both this year and last year because they were bringing back Grayson Rodriguez, who's one of the top young pitchers in baseball, and I guess they needed roster space. And so they move on from Baumann, and Mariners hitters are like, that guy's disgusting, bring him in. And a day later, he's a Mariner. And a couple days after that, he's got 2 wins. And he was the guy who ended up getting the win last night by pitching a really nice job in the 10th inning, starting with a man already on base against a lineup that we know is as powerful as it is. Good job by him, man. Very, very impressive. And apparently the Mariners hitters were the ones who recognized it. So for everybody who says that this lineup can't do anything well,
they can identify talent.
They know good pitching when they see it. They're like, look, we strike out a lot, and that guy was especially hard to hit, even for us. Yeah. So there you go.
He is a big dude, too. I saw him yesterday.
Bauman?
Yeah. Went down to the field yesterday and saw him coming off of workouts. And he walked up standing right there at the dugout rail. And was like, oh, man, I did not know that you were as large. He's 6'4". He's thick. He's a
big dude.
Strong dude.
Yeah, it is funny, man. Over the course of a year, the Mariners bullpen will really change. And all bullpens do. Like, you go into it thinking, all right, here's the 7 or 8 guys that are going to make up your bullpen this year. Oh, maybe 1 or 2 others. Did you know Kirby Snead would be here for this long? He's like key piece of the bullpen now, right? Did you know that Trent Thornton was going to become a legit leverage guy this year? I did not. I didn't see that coming. I certainly didn't know about Mike Bauman. He wasn't even available yet. I mean, it is funny how over the course of a season, things will change with that bullpen, and yet they have been consistent at getting it done year in, year out. John Morosi on yesterday with Wyman and Bob.
Look at how Stanek came up huge yesterday, and when you consider the way this lineup, the bullpen's built out, you're right. Even without having Brash, the ability to have Munoz healthy from the beginning of the season, and then to have Stanek come in and be the reliable guy last night, get the win or get the save rather, and secure things in that fashion. I just think it's a huge part of the team, and it's going to be a team that, because of the way that the rotation is set up, they're going to be able to use their bullpen more selectively. A rested pen is a good pen. And I think the more often that the Mariners get steady 6-inning starts from the rotation, the more often that Scott Service can go to the bullpen in the right situations. And I think Stanek, if you look at it dollar for dollar, guys, I think Ryan Stanek was one of the best signings any team made last offseason.
Well, they certainly needed to do it, right? They did it late. They did it around spring training. They bring in Stanek, and probably because of the Brash and Santos injuries. If both guys were healthy, I don't know that they would have made that move. And it looks genius right now, right? A second person with leverage capability, with closing experience, with World Series experience, all good things that this team needs. And it gives them a lot of different options so that you're not just reliant on Munoz every single game in, game out.
Also, when he was walking, go back to Bauman, when he was walking off the field, kind of gave me some Drew Steckenrider vibe, like kind of the similar hair. I don't know if he's exactly a similar build, but he's also a big guy. They're about the same height, but maybe be using the similar positions too.
Isn't it the Steckenrider bucket that Scott likes to talk about? Like guys who emerge out of nowhere and help you out for a year and then you probably move on because they're not actually that good. He calls it the Steckenrider bucket. Huh. And maybe that will be this Mike Bauman will be this year's Steckenrider. That's for sure. All right, more from John Morosi. Here he is. What's funny, we were talking about handedness earlier, right? A lot of angry people after a Mariner win last night that Scott Service went and pinch hit his rookie, Ryan Bliss, for the lefty, Josh Rojas in the ninth inning. It didn't work out as Bliss struck out. People were upset. Here was Morosi. Now, this was before that, but here's what John had to say yesterday about handedness in the lineup.
There are some hitters in this lineup who have proven themselves over a period of time. Rojas is one example to whom I think they have earned more of a look in a platoon neutral fashion. I think that Moore is another example. I mean, this is a team that I was looking it up just before we got on the air. They've scored the second fewest runs in baseball this year. Second fewest, ahead only of the White Sox. That's remarkable. And I mean, you're right. So on one level you say, oh boy, like that's tough. On the other side, this team is way more talented than what the White Sox have. And if they're in first place with the second worst offense in baseball, once this group normalizes a little bit, and if they get something from Polanco once he comes back from the IL, I really think this team has extraordinary potential.
Yeah, so I agree with the last part of it. We've said that a bunch of times, right? The Mariners have found ways, despite not hitting, to win a whole bunch of games, right? To build up this lead. 3.5 games on Texas, 7.5 games as we sit today on Houston. By the end of the day, it's either going to be 6.5 or 8.5 back for Houston. Right now. I'm sorry, it's 6.5 now? Darn it. All right, well, it'll be 5.5 or 7.5 back by the end of today. And they've done that without hitting really at all. I mean, the offense just been atrocious all year long, as we all know. So there is a positive that is sort of hidden in there of, okay, when the offense is better than it's been, which I know sounds ridiculous 2 months into the season, but it still should be at some point, there should be a whole lot of wins lurking. The other thing, though, I got to tell you, I love John, and I disagree with him quite a bit. I don't think anybody on this roster has done anything this year to earn anything. Certainly, from an offensive capacity. Yes, Josh Rojas has had a nice couple of months. First month was a whole lot better than the second month. And no, he has not earned the right to be platoon neutral. He's 3 of 16 against left-handed hitting or pitching this year. There is nothing that tells me that Josh Rojas has earned the right to be platoon neutral. He's done a heck of a job when being put in the right situations to succeed, and anything you can do to get his bat in the lineup against righties right now seems to make perfect sense. But no, he has not earned the right to be platoon neutral. Dylan Moore had a really hot 2 weeks. Awesome. Love Dylan Moore. Give him a lot of credit. Part of the reason Dylan Moore does what he does is that he's put in the best positions to succeed. And guess what? Over the last week or so, since JP's come back, Dylan Moore has not been nearly the same hitter. He's petered off again quite a bit. And he's been in the lineup a lot. It wasn't for lack of being in the lineup. It's just that Dylan Moore sort of is a player at a specific level, and he exceeded that level for a while. He's probably going to not make it to that level for a little while. That's what it means to have a level in baseball. So I would disagree. I don't think there are a lot of guys in this team that have really earned anything in terms of their spot in the lineup, in terms of their platoon neutrality, or anything like that. Now, I still would have hit Rojas last night. I still would have given the veteran the opportunity over the rookie to win that game, just because I think all you're looking for is contact. But as I said earlier this morning, and we'll talk about it, I'm sure, again with Brock at 7 o'clock, there's a pretty compelling case that Scott did this the right way. And it starts with staying out of a double play. It continues with the lefty-righty splits, which are really good for Hader and really bad for Rojas. And it finishes with what might be the best point, which is it's an 162-game season. I'm trying to learn a little bit about Bliss, and I'm trying to give him an opportunity so that maybe he gets it done, and that would be huge. And if he doesn't, he's at least got the experience in that spot. By the way, you can't lose the game at that moment. You're not down a run. I do wonder if it would be different if you were. It'd be a question I would love to ask Scott. If you're down a run in that situation and you need one to tie, are you more likely to stick with Rojas? I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
I think I might be. Versus, hey, there's all upside here. If the kid gets a hit or drives one into the outfield or even hits a squibber or something, he's a hero and everyone loves the story. If he doesn't, we play another inning. And that's exactly what they did, and they won in the next inning.
Yeah. You mentioned it earlier. This isn't September 29th. It's not October 10th. What if it was July 29th or mid-August?
Be very different.
Bliss still get that at-bat?
Well, I think the idea is you're giving him the at-bat now to give yourself more information in July and August when these games matter more so that you know what to do. And you know what? Maybe the next time he does get a hit, and maybe Ryan Bliss ends up becoming your everyday second baseman, and we're done with the Polanco experiment and just call it a failure and move on. I don't know. And maybe this is your opportunity to find out that Ryan Bliss just isn't ready for this. And when Polanco comes back, he takes over that job, and the next time you got to call somebody up, it's Brian Anderson, who's a veteran, who's been around for a while, and you do it differently next time. All of that is relevant information. And just because you get upset that you didn't like the handedness play in one moment, managers tend to have a whole lot more going on in their mind than the one single thing that exists for most of us fans. All right, we'll move on to some football conversation here as well as, let's see, I got some Eric Williams. Let me do the Nick Baumgartner first. So this is Nick Baumgartner, who is Athletics senior writer. He was on with Bump and Stacy, I believe. And he's talking here about Mike McDonald and one of the ways that he thinks this defense will be better than what we saw under Pete.
He does a really good job, I think, of crossing all the little details off so you're not going to get beat by sloppy stuff, and it allows your team to then take on more. I feel like that's maybe something that's been missing in Seattle for a while. That was at least a criticism of Pete, which was the defense, if you're doing it right, is always good, but it's pretty simplistic, and we know what it is. With McDonald, it's not simplistic at all. It's pretty diverse, and I think he makes it really easy for those guys to learn.
We've talked about in the past, and Brock even asked about this yesterday, so we were talking about Dan Bilesma. The tendency in sports to rapidly shift from one direction to another when you make a change in your organization. And for years in most sports, certainly in hockey, but in football as well, it was from players coach to disciplinarian coach. Those were the two main styles, right? And certainly Moore and I would both tell you growing up in New England, when the Patriots went from Bill Parcells to Pete Carroll, they swung rapidly from one direction to another. And then when they went from Pete Carroll to Bill Belichick, they took an 180-degree turn back the other way. It was like seeing that cop doing donuts, man, going one direction and then the other. So that used to be the norm. It's not really anymore because other than Sean Payton, there really aren't a lot of disciplinarian coaches left. So I guess what I would submit to you here is that the big sea change for the Seahawks, the 180-degree change from Pete to McDonald, is all about those details. Pete was not a details guy. I think if he were here, I would tell that to his face. In fact, I think I have, and he'd disagree with me, and I wouldn't care. Pete Carroll's not a details guy. He cared more about the overall health of the organization, the overall direction of the organization, how hard his guys were playing. He didn't want them always focused on every detail. He wanted them running and hitting as hard as they could all the time. Play with your hair on fire. Don't get beat deep, but other than that, go run and hit. Don't worry too much about the details. And his teams were sloppy. Pete's not a disciplinarian. Pete's teams were sloppy. They called dumb timeouts. They took dumb penalties. They made sloppy mistakes all the time. Not turnovers. Those were an emphasis point. But sloppy mistakes, yes. Simplicity, yes. From what I understand and from what we've seen so far, Mike McDonald's a details guy. His defense is all about the details. It's constantly shifting and changing and communicating. And for whatever the offense wants to throw at it, he believes he can have an answer. That's what Brock's taught me. And until I see anything different, I'm going to go with my partner on that one. At the same time, the sloppiness, it should go away just based on his personality. Teams do take on the personality of their head coach. It's not a surprise that the Seahawks were fun, passionate, and sometimes a little loosey-goosey under Pete Carroll. That's not like the biggest shock in the world that they were undisciplined. My guess is, coming from Baltimore, coming from the Harbaugh system, and just based on what we've seen of the man so far, they're going to be a lot more disciplined under Mike McDonald.
He called himself a bit of a perfectionist in that clip you played yesterday.
Yes.
So I think that helps you get a vision, too, that so far I think it was Rayshawn Jenkins last week was talking about how he's been very patient with them as they're learning right now. But I get the vibe that once they've learned it, he's going to be a little stricter with them.
High
if
expectation.
They're not doing it right.
Yeah, high expectation that you understand what you're doing. It doesn't make him a disciplinarian. Doesn't make him a bad guy. Doesn't mean he's the kind of coach who wants his team to hate him. He's not Herb Brooks. But an expectation level that, no, we play disciplined. We play in this very specific way, and there's probably some rigidity to it. That'll have its downside as well. All things do. It's all about trade-offs. Pete was willing to take some of the trade-offs in terms of the discipline in order to get some of the passion that he saw on the field. He was happy with that. And it worked for a long time. I think Mike McDonald's going to be a little different. My guess is his team, and I don't know, we'll find out. My guess is his teams will maybe lack some of the same passion that Pete's had, but they should make up for that in discipline.
So is Pete the discipline for the position coaches? Is that where that comes from?
Well, I think what you ran into with Pete,
in the detail, you have to still have it.
Not great,
but that's what I'm saying. Is that where the failure, that break came from?
I don't think that was what ultimately got Pete.
No, not what got Pete, but is that where we didn't see the details on the discipline was from position coaches?
Yeah, like you saw from anybody. They're like, okay. Details, discipline, whatever. We got Snoop Dogg
How
here.
many times
We're on vibes.
How many times did we almost beg him to be like, can you just say DK shouldn't have done that?
Yeah, no, I'm not going to say that. Yeah, DK can do whatever he wants. Everybody can.
Maybe
take me to the Kumbaya room.
Or it's in private, but it still wasn't enough.
Yeah. So details, not Pete's strength. seems like it'll be McDonald's, and we'll find out kind of what that looks like when they actually get out on the field. Now, one way it should play itself out is in these games in the division against both the Rams and the 49ers. Eric Williams got a pretty good view of the NFC West, says, yeah, this is going to be quite the battle between his defensive mind and Shanahan and McVay's offense.
So you have to kind of be able to match that in terms of what you do on defense, and you get a guy that schematically, was very good against the Niners last year. However, he did not bring Lamar Jackson with him. He did not bring that defensive personnel with him. So again, I think it's going to take some time for him to implement his scheme and system with the players that they have. I think the roster is talented. It's a little bit long in the tooth in certain areas, and so that would be a concern in terms of injury over a duration of a long season. And so again, I just feel like it's going to take some time for him to kind of establish an identity for the team, which this team had identity for 14 years under Pete, and obviously it's going to be different.
Eric Williams used to work for the TNT, right? Used to be Tacoma News Tribune.
I'm not sure.
I think he did. It's funny because he's another one who sort of talks like Divish. Not as much as Cal Raleigh does, and his voice a little bit different, but he has sort of the same delivery as Divish does, and I think of that every time he talks. Yeah, he used to be with the Tacoma News Tribune. Maybe it's a thing. People who start off with TNT and move on to other things. But all right, so we'll be watching that battle all year long, McDonald, Shanahan, and McVay. Now, as for Williams, he is in the Colin Cowherd camp. He has the Seahawks finishing last in the division.
The reason I have the Cardinals ahead of the Seahawks is they're a year further along in terms of rebuilding their roster. They have continuity on offense and defense. They know who they're going to be. They know what they want to do on offense, which is run the football and have play action off of that and let Kyler kind of do his thing with his feet. They bring in Marvin Harrison, so they now have an outside threat to go along with the tight end that they had last year, and Trey McBride, who had a breakout year last year. Defensively, I think they have question marks up front in terms of can they create pass rush. I think they're better in the secondary. They signed Sean Bunning to play cornerback. They draft Max Melton to play on the other side, and they still have Budda Baker and Jalen Thompson as their safeties. But for me, the reason I picked them to finish a game ahead is they're a year further along in terms of establishing their culture and identity and how they want to play. And I think Seattle is going to go through that process this year, even though McDonald is taking over a pretty talented roster.
So here's the thing. We're going to do Here's the Thing at 8 o'clock, right? You're going to start your rants on the Seattle Sports app thing with Here's the Thing. Here's the thing. You can't say the Cardinals and culture in the same breath. Just doesn't work. Appreciate you, Eric.
Yeah.
Can't say Cardinals and culture. Please don't tell me the Cardinals are a year farther along in their culture, and that's going to bring them, a better record than the Seahawks, because the Cardinal culture is set from the top, not from the coach. It's set from the horrendous ownership, and everything stems off of that. So I don't want to hear about the Cardinals having culture that is going to help them finish ahead of the Seahawks. They may very well end up doing that, but if they do, it'll be because of the Seahawks, not because of the Cardinals. If for some reason the Cardinals finish ahead of the Seahawks this year, it will not be because the Cardinals are great and their culture is awesome. It might be because the Seahawks struggle significantly under a first-year head coach with 2 first-year coordinators. I don't know enough about those guys yet to know whether they're going to have success. But I'll be very surprised if it's because of their culture and if it's because of their quarterback, because I am not a particularly big fan of either of those two things.
Yeah, I was going to say the Cardinals were in almost all of their games last year. They did give people a tough time. But, yeah, I'm still not bought in on Kyler Murray. And it felt like Jonathan Gannon wasn't either. Remember when Murray was coming back from the injury?
Right.
And every time he was asked about him in press conferences, it was very awkward.
Well, he's very awkward. I mean, I think that's the first thing, is that Gannon's awkward. I think we can admit Gannon's a better coach.
Some people that said his players really do like him.
Better coach than we thought he was a year ago. No doubt about it. But ultimately, the culture from the very top of the ownership in that organization will leak into everything. Yeah. It just will. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, he may do a good job as the coach of that team. Eventually, though, the bad ownership will affect everything that happens there.
Okay, it will. What about the first point then? Like they know who they are, and they've had a year plus on roster building.
That could be true.
Identifying.
I think they seem to actually admit that they were going to go to the bottom and then come back up to the top. The Seahawks never want to do that. They never want to admit that. They don't want to go in that direction. So trying to figure out where they're at in a quote unquote rebuild is hard to do when they refuse to ever rebuild. So I don't know where the Seahawks are going to be. To me, the Seahawks are a great wild card. Not necessarily a team that's going to make a wild card, but a great wild card. They could end up being a really good team this year. They might stink. I really don't know. And I probably feel more open to the Seahawks in any number of types of results, I guess. Scenarios. Thank you. That's what I was looking for. Scenarios this year than at any point in the past. I don't have a clue what they're going to do. They might be good. They might be bad. They might be a lot of different places in between, and that may change over the course of the year. Hopefully, if it's a successful year for them, they'll be better at the end than they were at the beginning. Mike McDonald will grow. The team will grow. We'll have a better idea what's what. And by the end of next year, we'll have a pretty good sense as to where this thing's going, hopefully in the right direction. But in terms of final record and results, honestly, I think I'm open to more scenarios this year than ever before.
Seattle Sports, your home for Wyman and Bob.
Something has clicked for Julio.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
RBIs, stolen bases, playing well in the outfield. I mean, he's just doing everything right now. And you can just see it in his face. There's kind of a sense of relief. Like, for a guy like that, just knows. And I think for the fans, too. Like, this is coming. Mm-hmm. We've been talking about this for a month and a half.
You see the impact he has on this lineup. I mean, just how crucial he is, and when he is hitting, when he is producing. And hopefully we're seeing the beginning of a run for him.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
I lock up my Old Spice Fiji aluminum-free dry spray to keep that 24/7 lasting freshness safe for myself. Fresh coconuts, palm trees in the wind. It's like catching waves in Fiji. Actually, I just talked myself into a refreshing spritz of Fiji. My Old Spice is missing! No!
As a roofer, spring means the start of my busy season, which means I've got to get organized. With help from Beacon, I can save time with Beacon Pro Plus and 24/7 access to live pricing, delivery tracking, order history, and more. Plus, this spring, I can earn $1,000 and the chance to win a $25,000 backyard renovation just by buying my CertainTeed shingles online with Beacon. No purchase necessary. Now that's what I call a spring cleanup. Visit BECN.com for official rules and to start earning entries.
Hey 12s, this is Seattle Seahawks head coach Mike McDonald. Our team can't wait to experience the best home field advantage in all of football. This year, we're going to need everybody. Let's break a new world decibel record in 2024. Get your tickets now at Seahawks.com/tickets.
Summer's here, and it's time for you to put yourself in the game. But you don't have to do it alone. Come visit the incredible showroom and the all-star team at Toyota of Kirkland. With a large selection of over 70 brand new Tundras and Tacomas on the lot, you'll be able to test drive one and take it home the same day. And don't forget about that lifetime powertrain warranty. Now that's how you become the MVP. Come in today or visit online at toyotaofkirkland.com. toyotaofkirkland.com.
Lexus is electrified, and the first ever RZ450E has the performance and range to get you where you need to go with the exclusive Lexus Direct 4 all-wheel drive technology. Lexus of Bellevue has over 50 RZs available for immediate delivery with electrifying savings up to $17,000 lease cash on every RZ450E. Visit lexusofbellevue.com.
On approval of credit through LFS, lease cash from Lexus available on select 2024 RZ styles. Must take delivery by June 3rd, 2024. A documentary service fee up to $200 may be added to the purchase price or capitalized costs. See dealership for details.
Hey, it's Dave Wyman with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD from Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Dr. Wagner is hosting a free stem cell webinar Tuesday, June 11th to explain stem cell therapy.
I'm really looking forward to this live webinar to educate on how using your own stem cells can be an extremely successful method to help regenerate native tissue in rotator cuffs, meniscus tears, and reduce pain in osteoarthritic joints.
And which joints have you seen good success with?
Shoulders, elbows, hips, knees, even wrists and ankles. And in this live webinar, we'll tell you all about the procedure, how simple and safe it is using your own stem cells, and how we determine if you're a candidate.
Dr. Wagner has performed over 20,000 stem cell procedures. Are you in pain? Join him Tuesday, June 11th at 6 p.m. for the free stem cell webinar and learn all about this amazing procedure. Register now at drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
Hey, it's Mike Salk here, and if you're looking for a fun night out, well, you know Snoqualmie Casino is just the place to go. Have some fun and unwind. Falls Buffet is back open. They're serving up all your favorites. You can enjoy prime rib daily, plus fresh pasta, made-to-order stir-fry and noodles and pizzas and salad Salad Bar and Dessert Bar. They got the pies made every day. And then Vista Prime has amazing happy hour menus, which start at 4 o'clock, and those breathtaking views of the Snoqualmie Valley and Mount Si. You know it's Seattle's closest, only 30 minutes from downtown. It is Snoqualmie Casino.
Chill or grill on a new deck this season. Get a free Makita Bluetooth radio or portable pellet grill with a qualifying PAR deck package purchase. But hurry, offer ends soon. Visit par.com for details. PAR, your total home building source. Go where the builders go.
Now your ideas don't have to wait. Now they have everything they need to come to life. Dell Technologies and Intel are creating technology that loves ideas, loves expanding your business, evolving your passions. We push what technology can do, so great ideas can happen right now. Find out how to bring your ideas to life at Dell.com. Welcome to Now.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It's a walk-off sacrifice fly from J.P. Crawford. He is hoisted in the air by the caveman Luke Raley at first base.
You're listening to 710 KIRO AM Seattle and KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma, the home of the Mariners.
This hour of the Brock and Salk Show is powered by Star Rentals, preferred supplier to the West's best contractors.
Give me a freaking auto!
This is Brock and Salk.
Brock Heward and Marcus. Sorry about just Mike.
On Seattle Sports.
Heward, not exactly Joe Cap there in the pocket.
Presented by Simply Seattle.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
Another win, Brock. Another late win for these Mariners. They are they have a style to them.
Yes, they do.
Gotta say,
it's gritty. It's gritty.
It's a style. It's a style, man. I felt, I don't know, man. I was all over the map a little bit last night. I had a bad feeling about Munoz coming in the ninth. Just felt
what was that about?
I felt like he was due a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Just kind of felt like he was due.
Non-save situation.
I don't care about that. You know me. I don't care about that.
No, you don't.
But he just seemed due, and instead he was as good maybe as he's been all year. His last couple outings have just been ridiculous. You can kind of go down the list, all the people who helped make that win possible last night. And despite the enormous number of strikeouts, despite the, once again, anemic offense for most of that game, there are a lot of people who ended up contributing in their own little way to a really important third win in a row here over the Astros.
Yep, I would agree. I would say one of the sneakiest of all is just in longtime baseball people will tell you this. If Phil's listening right now, he will tell you this because he would tell the youngsters about it. Just play the game the right way, right? And you kind of make your own luck. In Dom Canzone, in the bottom of the 10th, just move the runner along. Right? Just hit it to the right side. Just get the runner from second to third. Just make the right little play. Set yourself up. Do what Houston did not. Right? And what seemed like a bunch of times last year in extra innings, you just didn't make that play and you lost those extra innings games. And now you're winning them. And last year you didn't make those plays and you lost a lot of the one-run games and now you're winning them. So I thought that was on the stat sheet. He's 1 for 4 with the home run. Everybody remembers the home run, but just setting the table with one out with a runner on third.
Well, let's go even a little deeper on that. I'm glad you mentioned it. I talked about Dom and Need to Know at 6:15 as sort of the unsung hero of this game, and he wasn't the only one. You can go through the guys in the pen, Voth and Spire, and certainly what Bauman did in the 10th. Like, there's a bunch of little heroes. You mentioned the home run. Yes, Canzone hit one of those.
Here's Dom Canzone with a swing and a drive deep to right center field, going and going and gone. Goodbye, baseball. Dom Canzone jumping on the first pitch from Verlander here in the bottom of the 5th inning has tied the game at 1-1. Dom with his 5th home run of the season, and we are tied.
And they needed that. They needed to get something off of Verlander. It was all they would get all day. Don't forget, he also robs Tucker of the base hit in the 8th inning, coming in to make a sparkling defensive play. And I got to tell you, I don't know how many other right fielders on this team make that play.
Mm-hmm.
I want to name names, but I was really glad to see that Canzone was in right field in that moment because he did come up with that ball.
He plays a pretty good right field, by the way.
It hasn't been bad. There are some moments that'll leave you questioning. He had the play, was it 2 days ago, where he had to dive for it at the end on just like a regular fly ball that was kind of hit to him. But he made that play, and then he ends up moving the runner over.
Was it in Baltimore? He caught 2 in the gap as well, kind of chased it down, extended. And Yep. Those are the little things that matter a whole lot in these really close games. And by the way, but I feel like we're burying the lead. Did we miss something? I mean, you've been in and out of consciousness and everything else, and I've been running around a little bit.
I'd say I've been fairly conscious.
In Cancun, did we miss Luke Raley's nickname?
Yeah, I don't know where that came from. I heard this yesterday from Aaron Goldsmith on the game-winning sack fly from J.P. Crawford.
The set to pitch. Swinging a fly ball. This will be enough. Plenty enough. Tucker is back in the corner. He makes the catch. Class A is racing home. It's a walk-off sacrifice fly from J.P. Crawford. He is hoisted in the air by the caveman Luke Raley at first base, and the Mariners have just won the series. They've walked off the Astros in 10.
Did I miss that? I'm usually a nickname guy. And by the way, and I think Barnesy would probably agree with me on this. Like before WWF, there was the AWA. There was Dusty Rhodes and those guys, and their garments were not crazy. Why would I picture the caveman Luke Raley from Parts Unknown wearing just a very basic outfit with maybe that in cursive on his robe, coming in maybe, or maybe just on his bikini shorts. I don't know. The caveman? When did this happen?
Holding a bone.
Last week, I feel like
it was just because of the way he picked JP up.
I don't know. It's sort of hard to say. Last week he was calling him, or somebody was calling him Nuke, right? It was Nuke Raley. And now all of a sudden I'm hearing the caveman. So I don't know where to go.
Luke Nukem, I heard.
Where are you, Brock, on the pinch hitting of Ryan Bliss for Josh Rojas?
I didn't mind it as much as some others. I really didn't. I thought, well, he's so fast, as he showed the night before, just put the ball in play. And he's had, and one of the reasons, and Justin Hollander will be on with Stacy and Bump as they're at the stadium today. And Justin said this earlier in the week with the call-up, is that just his plate awareness, kind of strike zone, he's just really calm. He swings at good pitches, and he swung at 3 good pitches. And he, sniffed nope, I'm not out of the zone. I'm not swinging out of the zone. I'm not swinging out of my shoes. He couldn't catch up to it, and he missed them all. But I wasn't, because of the speed and some of the plate discipline, I wasn't as bothered by that.
Yeah, I don't think I would have done it, to be honest with you. I think I would have given Rojas the opportunity to win that game. But I talked a little bit about this in the 6 o'clock hour, and I'll just run through it again quickly. One, I think that there really is a legit handedness difference, both with Rojas and with Hader. Josh Hader is murder on lefties. And this year, at least, Rojas has really struggled against lefties. Mm-hmm. So put those two things together, and
that's not just any normal lefty.
Right.
That is a funky
Super
three-quarters crazy slingshot lefty.
He's a super lefty. There's no doubt. I mean, like, he is absolute murder on lefties.
Yes. Yep.
And the other part of it, though, from Scott and his explanation afterwards, I think is an even better reason.
Josh Hader is one of the toughest lefties in the league. It's a tough spot to put Ryan up in there, and so you're on the team, got to play, when the spot calls for it, you give him opportunity and see where they go with it. Have a lot of confidence in him. He had really good swings, just underneath it a little bit, and Hader got him, but he'll learn from it. It's a good experience for him, and next time he'll be better in that situation.
He'll learn from it. Scott will learn from it, right, to see what Bliss has in that moment. And I think he did learn a little bit about his young rookie last night and how he handled himself in that at-bat. Mm-hmm. And it may very well matter down the line, so that if you have this choice again in an even bigger game later in the year, you have a little bit more information and he's got a little bit more experience. I said to these guys earlier, maybe you agree, I wonder if Scott would have done it differently if they were down a run. If they were down a run instead of tied, I wonder if he would have handled that spot differently. Because if you're down a run, you need to get it done there. Maybe then you choose Rojas and say, you know what, I don't know, maybe Scott does it the same way. Mm-hmm. But maybe then you choose Rojas and say, all right, got to try to tie this game up. We need a veteran. Yeah. But tied, you say, all right, look, let's give this a shot. It may pay dividend. It may work out. It may pay dividends down the road.
Mm-hmm.
And even if it doesn't, all right, we'll play another inning. And we still have the last ups.
Yeah, and just psychology, leadership-wise, two things. Number one, you're walking your talk. When you're telling the clubhouse, hey, everybody be up, everybody be ready.
Mm-hmm.
This team's deeper than it's ever been, and you know what? If you're on this bench and you're on this roster, and the time calls for it, you're going to get your number called. So don't be eating seeds over there and just chilling. You're going to get your chance. And then I think number two, I can't tell you how many times I came back to a huddle sulk and a wide receiver's like, just give me a shot. Dude, just give me a shot. I'm open. Will you just throw it to me? Just give me a shot. I'm like, all right, Andre. Yeah, okay, I'll throw it to you. And I'm sure Ryan Blisson is like, I want a shot. I want a shot to be a game winner. Just like JP said after the game, man, if you don't have that mindset, you don't belong in this league. You want that shot to win that game. You want your number called. Give me that opportunity, and that's all a competitor can ask for. And you throw them in there, and you learn, as you said, you have a data point for maybe a week from now, maybe a month from now, maybe hopefully 6 months from now.
Yeah.
What another great win, and just burying these Astros.
I know. Isn't that kind of fun? And you got another opportunity to go even farther down that road today. We'll tell you about today's pitching matchup and everything else you need to know next. It's Brock and Salk, Seattle Sports on 710 and seattlesports.com.
Seattle Sports is your exclusive home for Mariners baseball.
Going, gone!
Every strikeout.
Swing and a miss, and a fastball, strike three, and the ball game is over.
Every home run.
Blasted out to right field. An absolute take by Luke Raley to the second deck.
Every Mariners win.
And the ball game is over. The Mariners with a colossal comeback here in the Bronx.
Stream every game at seattlesports.com or on the Seattle Sports app. We are Seattle Sports, the home of the Mariners.
I have a handful of stories that really affected me personally in my career and how I handled employees. Lee Johnson, coming out of his office as a customer, asked me where the service department is. I was like, yeah, go to the end of the hall, go up the stairs, go across the breezeway, open a door, go to the left. You want Chevy, go to the right. You want Mazda. Because I didn't even have enough time to say, hey, what kind of car do you have? Here comes Lee, and it's like, oh, man, come with me. Let me show you. And then having him come back and not dress me down is just almost like with that fatherly disappointment of like, hey, that's not how we take care of people. I mean, the right way is to walk her down to the stairs, walk her up the stairs, open the door for her, go over, across the way, open up that door, introduce her to somebody. So she's comfortable, she's made it to the right place, and that we value the business. What you did was you made it seem like she was an inconvenience to you. Customers are the purpose of our day.
The LJ way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
At Lowe's, save big every day when you buy in bulk. Save 10% when you buy 68 or more OSB sheathing. And there's more. Save 10% on select James Hardie products when you buy in bulk. Visit us in-store or online for low prices on the materials you need. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location while supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details.
Think identity theft won't happen to you? Think again. There's a new victim every 3 seconds in the U.S., over 15 million this year alone, and many don't even know they're victims. LifeLock alerts you to identity threats you could miss even when you monitor your credit. If your identity's stolen, a dedicated U.S.-based restoration specialist will work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft, but everyone can save up to 25% their first year with my name, Clay, as the promo code at LifeLock.com.
What do thousands of students that rely on free school lunches do during the summer? It's G. Scott here. Sunbucks is a SNAP program that provides free, healthy food when school is out. If you could use the help, simply fill out the form online to determine eligibility for $120 of free food per child. This message is presented by Safeway, where customers can use SNAP to match their produce purchases as well as shop online. Learn more at hungerfreewashington.org/summer EBT.
It's a mystery where Old Spice finds its amazing scents like Himalayan sea salt, but I'm thrilled they have because no other body wash exfoliates and moisturizes 24/7 like Old Spice Gentleman's Himalayan sea salt body wash. Now, if only there was a mountain range separating the Indian subcontinent from the Tibetan plateau where I could hide my Old Spice and keep my family from stealing it, my impossibly smooth skin will finally be safe.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code MONTHFREE by May 31st. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Headed outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on seattlesports.com.
Is a new kitchen in your plans? Hi, I'm Chad Cicchini, owner of Heritage Homecraft. Our specialty is custom cabinet refacing and quartz countertops. Rather than subcontractors, we have our own team of professional craftsmen who make it easy and comfortable to have the kitchen of your dreams in about a week and save thousands. Have us out and let us show you what a Heritage Homecraft custom refacing project looks like in your home. Give us a call, 425-485-1600, 425-485-1600, or heritagehomecraft.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Raleigh Auto Sales reminds parents to talk with your teenage drivers about the dangers of distracted driving and texting behind the wheel. Make a family agreement to never drive under the influence of alcohol or drugs, or ride with a driver who is. Always designate a sober driver, use a ride share, or call a parent for a safe ride home. Best wishes to the class of 2024 from the entire team at Doyle Guffey's Raleigh Auto Sales. Family owned and proudly serving the Puget Sound area since 1978. Online at ralleyauto.com.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
I don't think anybody would mind if the Mariners came up with a blowout win now and again, but in the meantime, I think everyone will settle for a nice walk-off, and that's what you got last night. 1-1 in the 10th. J.P. Crawford sending everybody home happy with a sac fly to right field. That wins the game 2-1, and afterwards he explains.
Yeah, I mean, it shows that, collectively we just want to win. We know we're not there yet. Everyone's going through ups and downs right now, but at the end of the day, unless we step on those lines, it's win the game. It doesn't matter about personal numbers or anything like that. And you see that a lot, 1 through 9 with this group.
You've seen quite a bit of it, I think, in this series. It's been a little of everything. No, the bats have not exploded or anything like that, but you have had a lot of small plays and unsung heroes. Last night, I thought the bullpen was spectacular. Even as good as Kirby was, to get Thornton, Spire, Voth, Munoz, and Baumann all to throw up zeros in that game, you don't win it against that lineup without what you saw from them. And then for the second night, you have a robbery on defense. It was Luke Raley 2 nights ago taking away a home run. Last night, it was Dom Canzone's turn.
It's on the way to Tucker, swinging a line drive into right field, coming in, Canzone dives and he makes the catch. Holy smokes, what a catch by Canzone, sinking line drive into right field.
Those are the types of plays that winning teams make, and when you make them, it's a lot easier to win the game. They've won 4 in a row, and everybody's played a role in it.
Our guys, understand you got to beat these teams. These are the teams, you want to win the division, you got to beat the teams that have been there. They have owned the division here over the last 6-7 years. And it's not going to be easy. You got to figure out a way every night, and you're going to have different guys contribute, and that's what we're doing right now. So, again, we're still not hitting our stride offensively, but we're finding a way to win because we're leaning on our strength right now, and that's our pitching.
How many times do you say that, Salk, about a Luis or a Logan or these guys that, hey, man, they didn't have their best stuff, but you just find a way to win? Mm-hmm. And how encouraging is it to be, once again, at a high water mark, 5 games over 500. Texas has won a couple, gained no ground, 3.5. You've continued to put this Houston team over the last 2 years in your rearview mirror as you are beating them, which is just tremendous. But you're winning these games without playing totally complementary ball without what JP said there. You know, guys all firing together, some ups and some downs, but you're finding ways to win.
Yeah.
I asked Shannon, this will be a conversation maybe later today, tomorrow. I said, is this roster the best equipped roster for Scott Service to play in this environment? And she wasn't ready to go there. But I am feeling there's more and more evidence to me when it's healthy and it's as long and it's as much depth as it did coming out of spring when he said it was his deepest team. He's got a lot of levers to pull, and he pulled just about every one of them last night for that win.
Yeah, 4 straight wins now for the Mariners. 3 of them, of course, have come against the Astros. Finale will be a day game matinee today. Logan Gilbert on the hill looking for the sweep against Spence Arrighetti. He's got an ERA near 7, so hopefully you can go complete the deal and get 7.5 up on Houston.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
Hey, Brock, do the Seahawks going to have a sneaky good defense this year? I know there are people that feel more comfortable with their offense. I would put myself in the camp of feeling a little more comfortable with this defense. I like what they've done there more this offseason, I think, than what they've done offensively. And I guess Bucky Brooks agrees on this. He said yesterday that McDonald might have, quote, a more talented unit in Seattle than he did with the Ravens last year. Now, that feels like a stretch to me, but they do have a lot of talent. You kind of look at it and you're like, okay, hold on. Up front, with the guys they've got and what they've done on the defensive line, and then on the edge, especially if Dre Jones going to be out there, the return of Chenna, the upside of Boye, a secondary is deep, linebackers, I don't know if they're great, but they seem to fit the scheme. I don't know. Maybe they are going to be a pretty good defensive team.
I'd have to go through that Baltimore roster to a man, because certainly there's some of them, and now Humphrey, the great corner, was hurt last year. You obviously know they're 2 stud linebackers, and Quinn got paid quite a bit. Their D-line, some veteran guys with career years. But I think what Bucky is saying is just like youthful talent. Clay to mold. Size, speed, strength, explosiveness, and maybe the straw that stirs the whole drink in a Devin Witherspoon that we can see take a gigantic step of being one of the league's difference makers defensively. Aikman thought he would be week 2 in New York. He put on a show, and when Troy Aikman said on Monday Night Football, this guy reminds me of Dion with his just playmaking ability, you start to kind of put those pieces of the puzzle together and understand why Bucky Brooks would say something like that.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
Win for the Oilers last night. They even up the series with Dallas 2-2 with a 5-2 victory. And apparently, Brock, we can now put the dumbest story in the history of sports behind us. Scotty Scheffler has been exonerated, according to the Jefferson County attorney. Here's Mike O'Connell.
Mr. Scheffler's characterization that this was, quote, a big misunderstanding, close quote, is corroborated by the evidence.
Please don't sue us.
The evidence we reviewed supports the conclusion that Detective Gillis was concerned for public safety at
which is why no one is going to sue us.
The scene when he initiated contact with Mr. Scheffler.
Which was an accident.
However, Mr. Scheffler's actions and the evidence surrounding their exchange during this misunderstanding do not satisfy the elements of any criminal offenses.
So please don't sue us.
Yeah. Kind of saw this story. The end, the final chapters of this story. Kind of saw them before they were written.
Right.
And by the way, what you really need to know, I can now corroborate and confirm. Spur of the moment.
Okay,
we didn't miss it. We didn't miss anything.
Okay, yeah. That was just Goldsmith being Goldsmith.
He said totally spur of the moment.
Okay.
From the booth, JP looked like a little kid being thrown up in the air by, in his mind, a caveman.
Yeah.
Yep. So good. I feel good about that. Because if we would have missed that, that would have been just like a swing and a miss of a 92 middle fastball.
Yeah, what I was going to say, I said it earlier, like, JP's not small. People might think JP's small because he's a shortstop. He's not small.
No.
JP's a big dude. Luke really made him look small.
He did.
In that moment. All right, that's everything you need to know. 1:15 every hour here on the Brock and Salk Show. You want to hear Scotty's lawyer? He's kind of entertaining just for kicks. Yeah, well, it's not just that he's feisty. Here's Steve Romines, Scotty's lawyer, defending his guy.
It's obvious he didn't do anything wrong. As I've said repeatedly, the more evidence that comes out, the more it shows that, Scotty was a victim here. It is remarkable the restraint and character he evidenced not only during the incident, after the incident as he's being taken downtown and in the press conference that day. We need more Scotty Schefflers in the world.
If we need more Canadian hockey types to say organization, how many more Southern lawyers do we need to say evidence?
See, Brian Kelly had it wrong. He tried family.
Right. He should have looked for evidence. It was evidenced by what we saw here.
You would have nailed it.
We just need a little bit more evidence in this situation.
Speaking of sound, where do you fall on Huskies howling? And I'm not talking about my rank last night or yesterday. No. I'm not talking about the siren and barking and lawyer. I'm talking about real Huskies howling.
Stick around. You'll find out next.
Seattle Sports, your home for bumpin' stations.
Let's talk about Julio heating up.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
The best possible thing you can see is Julio playing well.
This is who this team is, man. The main component of this team is pitching and Julio. The pitching has been solid so far when he comes to the rotation. We've been waiting on Julio. I think there are 2 boxes checked so far. Rotation, Julio turning the corner, and then the third box is just the random contributor that you're going to get on any given night.
Don't miss an hour of the show. Find the podcast at seattlesports.com.
Hey, it's Mike Salk here. It's Thursday, so you got to be getting ready for a big night out, maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow, maybe Saturday. Snoqualmie Casino is the spot to go unwind. Have some fun, man. Falls Buffet's back open. They're serving all your favorites like prime rib every day and fresh pasta, the made-to-order stir-fry, the noodles, the pizzas, the salad bar, the dessert bar. I could kind of go on and on here. But there's also Vista Prime Steaks and Seafood. They have an awesome happy hour menu. It starts at 4 o'clock, and they have those views of the Snoqualmie Valley and Mount Si. You know what I'm talking about, Snoqualmie Casino. It is Seattle's closest, only 30 minutes from downtown. Snoqualmie Casino.
Access to quality healthcare is an important topic. So, let's talk about it. Optum Care Washington is here to make the health system work better for everyone by making quality primary and specialty care easier and more affordable. From Tacoma to Bellingham, you can see their top local doctors at more than 45 locations and get care on your schedule with innovative on-demand services. Learn about healthier care that's focused on you at Optum2024.com.
I call myself a confident backseat driver. Mom, brakes, please.
Gotcha.
But I'm less confident in the economy.
Same here, buddy.
Thankfully, Les Schwab Tires helps make sure that our safety never takes a backseat, even when we're watching our wallets.
Roll into summer. Save up to $200 instantly on a wide selection of tires and wheels. Les Schwab Tires. Limited time offer. Terms and conditions apply. Details at leschwab.com/sale.
A slow network is no network for business. That's why more choose Comcast Business. And now we're introducing Ultimate Speed for Business, our fastest plans yet. We're up to 12 times faster than Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile. And existing customers could even get up to triple the speeds at no additional cost. All from the company with 99.9% network reliability and advanced cybersecurity. It's Ultimate Speed from Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Don't miss out on our fastest speed plans yet. Get started with internet and security for $49.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year contract. Plus, ask how to get up to an $800 prepaid card with a qualifying internet package. Don't wait. Call 1-800-501-6000 or go to ComcastBusiness.com to switch today. In 62324, restrictions apply. New customers only with 150 megabits per second internet and security edge. Eco bill and auto pay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Compares Comcast Business 1.25 gig to 100 megabits per second of Verizon 5G Business, AT&T Wireless Broadband, and T-Mobile for Business. Up to 3 times download for existing essential and standard internet customers.
Bring your whole crew to the game with the Mariners Suite at T-Mobile Park. Whether you're planning a special birthday party for friends and family or a company outing for up to 400 coworkers, there's no better spot for an unforgettable experience. Enjoy the suite life with premium catering, VIP parking, private Skybridge entry, and more. Plus, season ticket members get 15% off. Reserve your suite today at mariners.com/suites.
And the pitch up the middle, JP! Wow! What a play! Game over!
Bonneville International radio station contests are open to participants 18 years of age or older that are residents of Washington State unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contests are not eligible to win unless the station otherwise specifies at its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 60 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available on seattlesports.com or in person at the station during regular business hours.
We are Seattle Sports.
Kirby strands a pair. He gets out of the jam, and he has thrown a beauty tonight against Houston.
The home of the Mariners.
Made to Shine. Real stories from Shane Company customers.
We met later in life. I liked his dimples.
Both of our spouses had passed away, and we never expected to remarry.
That's the funny thing about love. It has its own agenda.
I wanted to get her a ring that celebrated our future, but didn't ignore our past.
I just wanted a party.
Shane Company helped me create the perfect ring, the center stone for us, and the 2 side stones for our past loves.
Fine jewelry that feels like it was designed just for you. Shane Company. Fine jewelry since 1929.
Feeling lucky? Don't miss the Lucky Spring Classic Collector Car Truck and Boat Auction, Saturday, June 1st at Tacoma's LeMay Marymount Event Center. Up to 200 collector, vintage, and classic vehicles. Many going to the highest lucky bidder with absolutely no reserve. Get lucky, get local, and get in line. Visit LuckyOldCar.com. That's LuckyOldCar.com. Or call 206-467-6531 for bidding and consignment details.
My friends swim no matter the season, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now, thanks to Skyrizi and clear skin, count me in. With Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
You're listening to Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
You asked me about the Huskies howling, huh? Mm-hmm. You think you spawned some extra Husky howling yesterday with your ranked?
Could have. Certainly spawned some Sonic just love.
You did.
Goosebumps and
I don't know if I should say what I'm going to say. I think I'll get in trouble with too many people.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't want to instigate the way. Yeah, I just won't say it. You know what? I just won't say it. I don't need to make my parents mad or anybody else. But I will say, Brock, with all of the Husky talk we had yesterday, specifically about dogs, Husky dogs, maybe it was telling that as JP got the walk-off win last night, his dogs were going crazy at home. I'm pretty sure that's 2 actual dogs and 1 person imitating a dog.
3 dogs.
I think it's 3 Husky dogs. Those are 3 Huskies.
It's so good when the camera goes back and forth when the Mariners walk off. The dogs just all in the living room losing their minds.
So JP has a house, right? That's not in a downtown condo.
I don't think so.
He lives in Woodinville.
Yeah, I think that's an actual home. There's some insulation. Yeah, he's not like
the gap between neighbors, I think.
Yeah, the upstairs neighbors aren't like
that when they get excited. You have to have some land,
some space,
hitting some sort of a broom against the ceiling in order to let everyone know to be
quiet.
quiet.
Malloy was the best barker. That doesn't.
It's pretty impressive. Now I kind of question the dogs though, so I appreciate them cheering for Dad. I mean that's great, and the howling is nice. But I mean, like, if they were real fans, wouldn't they be at Bark at the Park night last night? I mean, what kind of dogs are we talking about? Are these sort of fair weather dog fans, or are these like real dog fans? Wow. I'm a little surprised by that.
Wow. Not every dog can just go out in public and be somewhere a bunch of other dogs are at.
That's a good point. Yeah. I mean, I haven't taken Gertie yet, but that's just because she hasn't gotten fixed.
You also need
there's a lot of dogs Gertie can't be around
right now. They have like the big enough minivan to put huge dogs in to get them to the ballpark like that either.
That's a good point. All right. I take it all back. Good on them.
Kind of what's that dog master's name that used to
Caesar Milan?
Yeah. You're kind of a Caesar Milan guy and just a dog connoisseur and seem to know your canines.
Dog connoisseur makes it sound like I eat a lot of dogs.
A dog whisperer.
You know your canine species well.
Aficionado, maybe?
There you go.
More than a connoisseur.
You know what? You're a canine
tastes like
aficionado.
Dog sommelier.
I like my.
Guys, this smells like wet lab.
Yeah, I'm getting bits of tennis ball.
I'm getting notes of rubber dog toy with a little bit of venison treat.
I feel like a full-blooded husky should know this, and I don't. Is the husky really close to the wolf? Is it like the closest in the canine species to the wolf? Because that sounds like a wolf howling.
I mean, they look a lot like wolves, so that would make sense.
Yeah,
there's a hybrid.
Yeah.
Play that again for me.
I don't want to. No, I think it's unfair to the people out there with their dogs. I think it's too much.
You can play that for me again.
I can't.
After my ranking yesterday, it's the least you can do.
You should know that,
My parents told me after the show yesterday that you should never be allowed to rank again.
Oh,
they were so upset by your ranking yesterday. And you know how much they love you.
Wow.
They were horrified by the ranking yesterday.
Feels like it's more like your father than your mother.
No, it was my mom.
Was it? Jane.
I know.
The Siberian Husky is actually number 5 on the list of dog breeds closest related to wolves.
Oh, who's closer? The bulldog?
Number
Oh,
1
no.
is the
Let's
Shiba
see.
Inu.
Let the canine connoisseur.
The Shiba
guess.
Inu?
Shiba Inu
Makes
is
sense.
the number 1 closest relation.
To the wolf? Yeah. Who else is on that list?
Number 2 is Chow Chow.
That makes sense.
Number 3 is Samoyed.
Yeah.
4 is Akita. And then 5 is Siberian Husky.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it shows that.
Oh, sorry, that's just JP. I thought that's the wrong JP clip. Sorry, let me get JP's dog. We don't care what JP had to say. What did his dog say after the game? Here they are. One of them sounds distraught.
Gotta watch the video if you haven't seen it yet.
I mean, 2 of them are excited. One sounds distraught.
And that's
Maybe one of them's an Astros fan. Who knows?
That is JP's wife's Instagram. She put that out there. Is that right?
Not sure if it's hers. I'm not going to say yes or no on that until I have.
Okay.
It went to it came from the Mariners though. So yeah, there you go. There's JP. You know, as we do get closer to June here, Brock, just a couple days away, it does dawn on me that the Mariners are slowly turning from patience and early and that kind of messaging to something a little bit more immediate and actionable.
Well, we're getting near June 6th.
That's right. That's my date. But they're starting to make some little tweaks and changes, not overreacting, but they are doing some of the things that I think you do before you start to really react. And we saw a little of it yesterday, right? And really over the course of the last week. Polanco getting a couple of extra days while other hotter players play, and now eventually he goes to the IL. But in between, they didn't just hand him that second base job back and say, yep, it's yours every day.
Yep.
Urias, sent down. Like, yep, we tried it. Hasn't worked out very well. We need guys who can
I think
contribute.
you loved Urias more than any other.
I just like his swing.
No,
I like the way he
him,
attacks. I do kind of like him, but clearly he didn't hit very well. Like I don't know that I liked his production.
And 6 errors was kind of the end of it.
Terrible. You can't throw. I mean, like that's just a non-starter.
Yep.
Start a few more opportunities for Class A and for Bliss, which, yes, is partly about getting some younger, new players in there. To me, that's also about adding some athleticism and maybe a little bit more of a different style. If you're not going to score runs by consistently hitting, well, maybe you need to add some more athleticism to your team. And Class A and Bliss certainly provide that. So when those two guys come up, you know, all right, yeah, Class A is not as good a hitter maybe as Cade Marlowe. But can he help the team score runs or prevent runs in his own way? And same with Bliss. Haniger, playing a lot less. You're not seeing Mitch Haniger out there every single day, not even close. And hopefully some of those days off will help. Garver, some actual days off. We've seen a bunch of those. He's not just been penciled into the DH spot. And then last night, we finally saw, Brock, something that you and I have talked about quite a bit. You said this a while ago. I totally agreed with you then, and I still do. Getting Garver behind the plate a couple of times to just change the look and feel of the game. Scott, before the game yesterday, said this.
You try to take bits and pieces for what has worked for other guys, but ultimately it has to be your program. I think the biggest thing is not to sit there and stew or think about your at-bat too much. My previous at-bat, how they pitching me, how am I going to adjust to that? Well, when you're out on the field, you don't have time to think about that. So, like, just letting it go and getting prepared for your next one is probably the biggest adjustment you have to make. Mitch Garver's not going to be thinking about his at-bats tonight, I guarantee you. He's going to think about what happens behind the plate, which I think might be a good thing.
Yeah, it was pretty good with George, and George was the perfect guy, right, for him to catch last night. On a little bit of a pitch count as well. Scott said that going into the game, not just for George, but a pitch count for Mitch, which is smart, right? He hasn't caught a game since last year, and you know, he did a little bit in the spring, but you know, he's not going to catch that entire game. You give Cal also, right now. He's missing a lot of swing and miss right now.
Day off for Cal is not a bad thing.
Hopefully his aches and bumps and pains and everything help. And in the clubhouse knows this, right? I mean, you can see it. You're a baseball aficionado, connoisseur. You know your baseball. But the clubhouse really knows this. These guys have been around the block a few times. They know, okay, this isn't early anymore. Okay, maybe all these at-bats that I got through April, maybe every time I was in the lineup, maybe the skip giving the vet the benefit of the doubt because the resume and the baseball card was the longest. That starts to dissipate when you just are struggling the way that some of those veterans are struggling.
Yeah, I mean, you're 2 months into this season, so obviously it's time to start doing some of these, making some of these changes. And that doesn't mean you go right to, I know there's a lot of fans that are just cut him. Well, you're not going to go right to just cutting the guy you just spent $22 million on. That's not really how it works. And you're not just going to bench him because that doesn't provide a lot of value either. You got to try to find a way to get the old Mitch Garver back.
Yep.
So I really like what they did. I like kind of all of these moves taken together as initial sort of pokes and prods towards what may end up being some bigger moves in another couple of weeks if these aren't successful.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the Garver one is the biggest of them. They've got to find a way to get him going. They spent real money on him.
Yes.
Right? I mean, he is still the biggest, most expensive free agent bat Jerry's ever signed. He's not lived up to that at all. And if you can get him to, that 30 home run type of power, he's not going to hit 30 this year. But if you can get him on that kind of pace for the rest of the season, it would be a huge deal. By the way, it's not just about him. Sebi Zavala has been awful, right? I mean, backup catcher Sebi Zavala is an automatic out and not trustworthy behind the plate. So even in the games where he starts, Cal seems to keep finding his way into those games on days where he's supposed to sit. So all of that workload, all of the natural wear and tear and pain of being a catcher. And by the way, Cal got hit again the other night, right, on the toe. I'm sure that any opportunities to give him a little bit more time off is very exciting and palatable to the management of this team. And when you don't have a legitimate backup catcher, which is, I would say Zavala's not, your next guy at AAA, you just traded him away, Blake Hunt, in order to get Mike Baumann. And, Brock, you did mention the first base DH guy who just moved up to Tacoma, who I know you're very fond of, Tyler Locklear, and for good reason. The team's been high on him for a while. It might be pretty darn important to find out if Garver can catch a little bit, because if you do want to at some point make room for Locklear, having Garver have another way to get himself into the lineup besides just at DH would be awfully important, I would think.
Yeah, what you have just done in that last couple minutes is just further kind of my point that with all of these different options, this is a Cheesecake Factory menu that Scott has. He's not always had the Cheesecake Factory menu.
Explain more.
What do you want?
You mean it's high in calories?
I mean, it's
caloric count is out of control.
52 pages long. What do you want to eat? You have anything you want. I mean, there are a lot. When healthy. Right? When healthy. This is in. Scott said that coming out of spring, this is the deepest club that I have ever had. And now, you had a couple scat backs in 2022. Now you got a couple more scat backs in Class A and certainly in Bliss. And by the way, these Mariners minors, which I continue to watch and follow more than I ever have before, because these wave of players will be coming. Maybe one of them in September, maybe one of them in June. We'll see. But Cole Young continues to absolutely rake and do what he did over the spring, and that's not a right now. That's still a little bit down the road. But man, this is there's a lot. There is a lot on this menu, and it's not even fully clicking, as JP said.
Right.
And you're winning.
Fully?
And you're winning.
It's not even clicking a little.
No, your pitching is phenomenal.
The hitting is not clicking even a little.
Your pitching is phenomenal.
It's phenomenal. And yesterday might have been as well-pitched game.
Do you
as
realize the
they had
Astros coming into the series are the best offensive team in baseball?
I'm sure.
Highest average. I mean, just OPS right up there near the top, and you have silenced them. And it really doesn't matter who it has been. And obviously coming out of the pen on back-to-back nights, just awesome. I mean, they have just absolutely shut them up. And I'll say this, too, about Cal and even about Mitch as a catcher. He was a good catcher. And you can see that. He's a smart catcher. He's
he looked fine last night.
Cerebral guy.
Yep.
Houston is missing Maldonado. Holy cow. Like they're everything that he brought from a veteran presence, everything he brought from shutting down a run game,
So
everything
funny.
he brought from
He
framing,
was that
everything
guy
that
that the stats people really hated in there because his hitting was so lousy at the bottom of the lineup.
Correct. They miss him. And I think they miss Dusty Baker. I mean, that team just does not look – they're just going through the motions. And I know it's early in the year, and they still got a lot of talent. And Alvarez is a monster, and Tucker is amazing. And
I mean, maybe all those things are true, or maybe their pitching's just gotten hurt and hasn't been effective.
I don't know. The pitching has been pretty good this series. So,
well, I mean, yes, it was obviously very good yesterday. There's no doubt.
It was very good the night
But I don't know
before.
if that explains like their situation this year. I mean, their pitching just hasn't been as good.
Fromber's not been as good as he once was. I mean, he's had some struggles.
Yeah.
So. They just and it's nice. Couldn't happen to a better organization to stall out.
Everybody's very, very sad about the poor Astros, who were 6.5 back as of today, and Mariners with an opportunity to go and complete a sweep, a rare 4-game sweep. You don't get a lot of 4-game series, so it's not like there's a lot of opportunities for 4-game sweeps. But you got one today with Logan Gilbert, who's got how many day starts is this for Logan Gilbert? Is he like their official day matinee game guy? It feels like he's had a bunch of these day matinee starts. So Mariners with one more to play against Houston, 1:00 start this afternoon. Pregame show at noon here on Seattle Sports on 710. Coming up here in about 15 minutes, Brock, I do have another batch of app-related voicemails. So these come from the Seattle Sports app, which you got to download. You can listen to the Mariner game on the Seattle Sports app. And if you simply look at the bottom of the screen, you can see the call-in. You click on it. It says talk to us. You click the microphone. You can leave us a little voice message. And we're asking people to start your voice message with, here's the thing. And then give us a rant on whatever is important to you. Maybe it's about sports, maybe it's about us, maybe it's about life, whatever the case may be. And we've got some new entries for you coming up at 8 o'clock, right after Blue 88 right now.
This is Brock and Salk's Blue 88.
Blue 88! Blue 88!
We take you to the field as Brock Ewart breaks down 3 football questions as only he can.
Now here's your hosts, Brock Ewart and Mike Salk.
Okay, before we get going, I just got to say something. And this isn't even here's the thing. Over the course of my life, I'm 48. I feel like I would have handled Coach Holmgren's, hard coaching a whole lot better, that my skin's gotten a little thicker. Certainly my eyes are dwindling and body's hurting a little bit, and all those things make you a little older, a little tougher. I'm shook right now. The fact that your mom did not like my ranking yesterday and called it like the worst, and your dad it
was hard for her.
But
you got to understand. I mean, she doesn't know what any of those things are.
I am legitimately happy feet in the pocket.
I wasn't going to say anything.
It like pierced me.
I know. I wasn't going to say anything.
Like John Mobley to my kidney.
Yeah.
Like it just.
That's one of the many things that my mom and John Mobley have in common.
Super twitchy.
Yeah, super twitchy. That's how I've always just.
So
yeah,
I'm
you know
gonna
my
try
mom? She's a lot like John Mobley, former Broncos linebacker. Yeah, that's my mom.
So I'm going to try to stay in tall in the pocket here.
Good luck.
I'm going to try to fake it till I make it.
Now, she would never say that she has a problem with Blue 88. You're right in your comfort zone here.
Just a little shook. Okay, go ahead.
Question number 1, Pro Football Focus, Brock. I know you're a big fan.
Yeah.
Where do they have the Seahawks roster ranked?
17. 17.
Sounds right.
And I think that was about 8th or so in the NFC, ahead of Tampa Bay, ahead of a couple playoff teams from a year ago. San Fran, number 1, Chiefs 2. 2 teams that were in the Super Bowl. And this isn't even a look back. This is a move forward. Now, here's what jumped out to me. I'm kind of with you. Yeah, I think that's fair. I don't think they're 27th. I don't think they're near the bottom of the league, as some pundits out there think. I think 16, 17 is about right. But here's where Pro Football Focus got me a little bit. The biggest strength on this roster, biggest positional strength on this roster, according to Pro Football Focus graders. And those graders are former coaches, former players. I've gotten a chance to meet a bunch of them that really work hard studying the tape. The cornerback room. The biggest strength on this roster is the quarterback room, and I'll read
corner or quarter?
Corner.
Okay, yeah.
Rookie cornerback Devin Witherspoon was outstanding last season, whether he played outside or in the slot. His production, along with that of Tariq Woolen, Mike Jackson, and Trey Brown, gave the Seahawks one of the NFL's deepest cornerback units, 6th best in the league. On the other side of that, to Mina Kimes' point, the offensive line, 28th. The biggest weakness in their estimation, full of a bunch of, as we talked about yesterday, a bunch of ifs. 28th in the league when it came to protecting their quarterback. Their pass protection win rate, not good enough. But overall, 16, 17 going into it, I'm kind of feeling that vibe.
All right, question number 2. By the way, I tend to agree with some of that. Andrew Whitworth, so Maura went on this little hunting expedition yesterday. Not an exhibition, a hunting expedition after what was it? Oh, you were looking for the Bucky Brooks sound?
We talked, the quote of Bucky Brooks saying that the Seahawks might have a better defense than Mike McDonald had with the Ravens last year. I was trying to find that, but then I found out it was only in print. But I found other sound.
Okay, and so that led her to this Andrew Whitworth sound, which was on the Move the Sticks podcast. And Brock, this should appeal to you. Here's Andrew Whitworth talking about leadership, former tackle for the Raiders, or for the Rams rather, and if I'm not mistaken, NFL Man of the Year, Walter Payton Man of the Year award winner.
Yeah, like when I signed with the Rams in 2017, I set out a goal. I said, hey, every week of OTAs, I'm going to sit at a different table. I'm meeting a different position group. We're going to spend time at the lunch table. I'm going to get to know them. And then that started to bond like relationships where I was like, man, there's guys that I wish back in Cincy I had more emphasis on this. I used to think about it all the time, like, man, I could have done this better. I learned something in that moment that I got to know the DB room and like, man, to the point where like we're boys and like we sit together at lunch and we talk about things. It's a total different version of life to me because, man, I sit with this one group all the time. So I know all of them really well. Like I know everybody in the offensive line really well. But like, what do I know about the linebackers? So if you don't make a conscious effort to get to know guys around you and get to spend time on them in those times you can, you're going to go through a whole season and barely know your teammate.
So pretty interesting stuff, Rock. That you talk a lot about that relatability. Did you play with guys like that?
I did. I listened to that, and it's not a surprise. And the best of them are offensive linemen because they're usually the most servant-hearted. They take a beating. They're usually, especially at the NFL level with the guys that got to block, there's kind of a genuine humility to them, but there's a toughness, right? There's a togetherness. There's a familial environment. Like they do that in their room. You have to get to know one another so well. You're half the offense. There's 5 of you. So you got to get close. Robbie Tobeck. Beginning and end, Robbie Tobeck was the best of that. It didn't matter. And you know what? Some of those rooms are hard to break. And Andrew talked about the DB room. Like for an O-lineman, to go in there and hang out with the DB, like that's not always the easiest thing to do. Tobeck could sit with running backs, tight ends, linemen, quarterbacks, can make fun of everybody, pick on himself, pick on the D lineman. The great line about, walking around the locker room with Floyd Wedderburn's helmet. What would you rather have, your salary or Floyd's helmet full of nickels? Like he was the one that just connected with everybody.
He's funny, dude. Question number 3.
By the way, that's been missing. Max Unger was also, I think, that guy in a lot of different ways. And we talk about just some of the voice of a leader of this old line. Like, where is that? Who's that guy? That's been a work in progress.
Maybe it's going to be Pharaoh Brown based on our interaction with him last week. Brock, we haven't even talked to you about this. Moore and I got to hang with Pharaoh.
What?
So let it be written,
Pharaoh?
let it be done. He's awesome. It's like the world's nicest guy. He absolutely fell in love with Pharaoh Brown.
Wow.
All right, what are going to be the competitive Seahawks position groups? With another practice today, Moore is going down for an open OTA, Brock. Where should we see the most competition?
Yeah, I think it's going to be that corner room that Pro Football Focus talked about. But Salk, and don't shoot the messenger right now. I know you are not a fan of D. Eskridge. Be done with him. Not a fan. But you are a fan of Derek Young. You are a fan of Jake Bobo. You are a fan of some of those guys in that receiver room that are going to be clawing and fighting and scratching to make this roster. In particular, Jake Bobo. When he played a lot last year, you know what he was, Salk? Productive.
Yeah.
Productive.
Yeah.
And you know what this system and this scheme gives you? A lot of Ryan Bliss opportunities. Here you go, kid. You want the ball? Okay, I'm going to set you up. Here's the motion. Here's the formation. Here's your one-on-one. Win it. Ryan, last night, here's your one-on-one, man. Go win it. Here's your opportunity to be the hero. Go win it. Jake Bobo, D. Eskridge, Derek Young, these guys are going to get their one-on-ones. They're going to get their opportunities in the minicamp you watch today. They're going to get them in the 3 preseason games. Which one delivers with the new staff is going to be hyper competitive and fun to watch.
That is today's Blue 88. Maura's not willing to go out on a limb for D. Eskridge this year. I should let you know ahead of time.
Okay, great.
Yeah,
So here's the thing.
She's learned that lesson. She's not going out and
here's the thing.
Stumping for him this year.
Hundreds of you responded to my bird issue. It's a mating issue. It's a territorial issue with the woodpecker.
You're having a mating issue?
With the woodpecker that's trying to say, nope, this real estate's mine, the venting to my fireplace. So I didn't go to Ace Hardware, climb on my roof and put spikes. I didn't get a BB gun and shoot it in the eye. I didn't do any of that. You know what I did this morning?
Things, I guess.
You know what I did this morning? When it started to hammer, I turned on the fire. And that's now back-to-back days that when I turn on the fireplace and it just kind of reverberates, and I don't think it likes it. And then maybe even the heat of it.
Yeah.
Come at me, Woody Woodpecker. Come at me. Because I'm bringing the heat. And so far, I've kind of won the last 2 days. So
Woody Woodpecker is running out of air. In fact, he's collapsed.
These kids look pretty disappointed.
Poor Woody Woodpeckers, man. Rough life over near the Heward home. All right, we do have more of these voicemails for you. Stick around. These are coming up next. Brock and Salk, Seattle Sports on 710, seattlesports.com.
Get the national perspective on the Mariners.
Swing and a miss and a slider, strike 3.
With Jeff Passan, Tuesday mornings at 8:30.
I don't think that it is unrealistic to believe that they have the talent and the ability to win a championship with this team.
And John Morosi, Thursdays at 5 p.m.
Their DNA remains intact. This is a rotation-dependent team.
We are Seattle Sports, the home of the Mariners.
At State Roofing, we don't just install roofs, we build peace of mind. Hi, I'm Sam Thomason, owner of State Roofing, and we stand firmly behind our work, protecting your investment for years to come. Backed by warranties that offer you protection, reliability, and trust long after the project. Take advantage of our zero down, zero payments, and zero interest today. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com for a free estimate.
State Roofing, the best roof you'll ever need.
Calling all drivers. Here's why Polestar 2 is called the driver's EV. With all-electric performance and a range of up to 320 miles per charge, Polestar 2 has the power and handling to change your perceptions of EV driving. But the best way to find out for yourself is a test drive. Visit Polestar Bellevue to test drive Polestar 2 today. 320 mpg range based on model year 24 Polestar 2 long-range single-motor variant and EPA standard. Visit polestar.com for full details.
What do thousands of students that rely on free school lunches do during the summer? It's G. Scott here. Sunbucks is a SNAP program that provides free, healthy food when school is out. If you could use the help, simply fill out the form online to determine eligibility for $120 of free food per child. This message is presented by Safeway, where customers can use SNAP to match their produce purchases as well as shop online. Learn more at hungerfreewashington.org/summer EBT.
It's Cookies Country Chicken pregame fry time reminder. Headed to the ball game? Come on down to Cookies in Pioneer Square for some real good chicken and tell them,
make it spicy.
Fresh fried chicken at Cookies. CookiesCountryChicken.com.
With Progressive, you get more than savings. You get access to us through our mobile app, online chat, or by phone.
Oh, I see what you're doing here, Jamie. Giving me all these ways to stay in touch so I have no excuse not to. Well, you're in luck, because this guy's in the market for a new BFF.
Actually, all our customers can contact us this way.
Oh. Yeah, no, I was just kidding.
But I am always up for Taco Pizza! Jigsaw!
Get help from Progressive through the website, app, chat, or phone. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates.
O'Reilly! Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Beauty, privacy, instantly
like it grew last night. Beauty, privacy, instantly.
Kick off summer by checking out the incredible showroom at Toyota of Kirkland. With a wide selection of Camrys on the lot, including the brand new 2025 Hybrid Camry, along with the new inventory of Tundras and Tacomas. All with the lifetime powertrain warranty, you're in for a summer to remember. The unbeatable team at Toyota of Kirkland will set up your test drive, and you can take that car home the same day. Get your summer groove on at Toyota of Kirkland or visit online at toyotaofkirkland.com.
Want to listen to Seattle sports on your smart speaker?
Hey, smart speaker, play Seattle sports.
This message is powered by the EQC Sportsbook at Emerald Queen Casino. Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
Access to quality healthcare is an important topic. So, let's talk about it. Optum Care Washington is here to make the health system work better for everyone by making quality primary and specialty care easier and more affordable. From Tacoma to Bellingham, you can see their top local doctors at more than 45 locations and get care on your schedule with innovative on-demand services. Learn about healthier care that's focused on you at Optum2024.com.
When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters. Hi, this is Ursula Reutin. CertaPro Painters did such a beautiful job on our home. In fact, we were so happy with their excellent workmanship and great communication, we hired them for another project. And once again, we were thrilled with the outcome. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated right here in Western Washington. Schedule your free estimate today at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. CertaPro.com.
It's a walk-off sacrifice fly from J.P. Crawford. He is hoisted in the air by the caveman Luke Raley at first base.
You're listening to 710 KIRO AM Seattle and KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma, the home of the Mariners.
Give me a freaking auto!
This is Brock and Salk.
I don't read the internet, guys.
Take the bull by the hands.
On Seattle Sports.
And Brooke, you are. And Brooke, you are.
Styled by Simply Seattle.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Eward and Mike Saul.
I don't know why you haven't downloaded the Seattle Sports app yet, but you really should for a bunch of reasons. One, you can listen to the station live. You can watch the video feed of the station live wherever you go. You can listen to all the podcasts, so you can listen to the station later. Oh, you can listen to Mariner games, which is a pretty huge deal.
No matter where you are?
I think there may be some limit on that, but most of where you are, certainly you can listen to Mariner games. And then you can now use this new feature, which is, it's like a voicemail type of a thing. It says call in at the bottom. You can talk to us. And if you want to make sure that it comes directly to us here in the Brock and Salk Show, just use the phrase, here's the thing, at the beginning of your rant. And you can talk about whatever you want. You want to talk about what's going on in sports. You want to talk about us. You want to make fun of people. You want to just be weird. Like, we're kind of up for everything as long as it doesn't take too long. So here are another round of some messages left for us.
A good cop was the cop from Stranger Things. Don't remember his name, but he played a good role in that.
Thanks, Saban.
When you guys were ranking cops last week.
Oh,
Just
was it like Hopper?
I don't know, it was too scary for me. I turned that off.
Stranger Things? Yeah.
I watched one episode, turn it off.
I watched season 1. I think it was Hopper.
Way too scary.
Great name for a cop.
Terrifying. I didn't want to go into my laundry room for like a few days after that.
Do some of these have the here's the thing?
Hopefully.
Or is that new instruction?
We're trying.
That's starting. We're working on that.
That's starting.
Yeah, we've got to message that for a while. Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing. I don't know much about the automated strike zone and the minor leagues. Why can't they just incorporate virtual reality into eyewear for the home plate umpire? Those ridiculous-looking Apple goggles seem like they would do exactly what we need them to do and give the umpire a set zone based on the batter's height that they will always be able to see. I don't know. I might be uninformed. It might be an ignorant take, but it seems like it would work really well to me. This is Joel. I'm in the middle of Canada, and I've been driving for 10 hours. I was attacked by 2 birds yesterday, and I love the show. Thanks, guys.
I love the ending.
Thanks, buddy.
Awesome.
Cool in Canada.
So I was thinking about this last night after the conversation we had, Justin, about where the strike zone even is measured from. You know what I think we need to do? I think we need to take the box off the screen.
Oh, yeah, because if it's changing for every hitter, then it's just misleading.
Well, I was thinking about it specifically when Ryan Bliss came up. And I'm like, you're going to tell me that the strike zone for Ryan Bliss, that box, is the same as it is for Luke Raley, Aaron Judge, and Julio Rodriguez? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Take the box off the screen.
No,
leave the little visual of where the ball went through the zone. That's cool. But take the box off. I think it's starting to negatively affect the way we watch the game.
I completely agree. Completely agree with that.
Thoughts?
When it's taken away, if you watch college baseball or other thing, give me the box.
Really?
Yes. Where's the first down marker?
I was going to say, is this the yellow line?
I can't imagine watching football without the yellow line.
I was working out the other day and watching the old 49er Charger Super Bowl. This isn't Hank Stram's 60s.
Why?
Because it was on the NFL Network at the
that game
Hotel.
I didn't even finish watching when it happened live.
Do you know what was not on screen? The score.
Oh, my gosh.
Or the clock.
So frustrating.
Or the down and distance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just people living in the moment.
I think we could do without the box. Honestly, I think maybe life would be better without
Watch
it.
a little of the college baseball on ESPN. Let me know what you think.
So here's the thing. Julio, still stupid fast. Saw that with the 2 steals in 1 game. Also, still a bad base runner. So weird.
Well, I don't know that those two things are necessarily related, right? Being fast doesn't make you a good base runner.
Nope.
Correct.
It makes you fast.
Being fast means he overruns bags and gets caught stealing and makes his caught stealing numbers look terrible.
I do wish Julio was a little bit better base runner.
So here's the thing.
I love what he did last night.
So here's the thing. Is there any other player in baseball that falls more after he swings than Julio? Balance. I'm purely asking for balance. Do you notice how many times he falls
I think
for
it's a hard question to answer, not getting a chance to watch all the other players in baseball. But
okay, well, every other team that comes in here and you plays against you and stuff, doesn't it feel like he just is off balance so often? And I don't know if that's jumpy. I don't know what it is, but he is, and some of it is the swing fundamentals. You watch all these swing coaches, and you do want to finish falling forward, not backwards or anything else. But look how many times he is off balance. It's like my father when he used to play golf. Gosh, Dad, just try to finish on balance. It's not good for you.
Doesn't matter as long as it works. So that's why your dad would hit too good.
Here's the thing. Ranked is really bad. I would rather listen to Say What. In fact, Ranked is so bad, Say What should be the final segment of every show.
What?
Let's go.
What? Maura, be careful, Maura.
What?
Be careful, because I don't know if you fully know what Say What
I
is.
don't. I had to ask.
Would require a lot of work on your part.
Be very careful
It has
before
to be
you.
better, right?
How do you feel about 10 minutes of goat sound effects?
How did you feel about a 0.0
better
rating?
than 10 minutes of Rush.
Really? You'd rather have
What?
10 minutes of goats than 10 minutes of Rush?
Guar.
You sure about that?
We haven't played enough Gore, first of all.
Yeah.
Not enough for that to be the reason.
You really think you'd prefer that?
Maura,
I think I might.
I want you to
I think
think
I'm with Troy.
really carefully, Maura. I don't think you know exactly what you'd be getting yourself into.
That goat sounds like it's being tortured.
That's a lot.
Oh, yeah. Pretend I like that goat.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Okay.
There's a lot of them in here.
Okay, well, we're doing an actual segment now. We can say what later.
That's the robo goat. Sheesh, that's enough.
Here's
goat.
the thing, Troy. You derailed the show.
I blame more on this one. She's the one who said that you actually wanted to go down that road.
Next.
All right, let me see what else I've got here.
Can we?
Trying to send you guys messages, and they're only like 10 seconds long, and they're not sending. What is going on?
They're sending. I don't know what to tell you.
All of them.
Tim, they're working. We got them all, Tim. Here's Kaj.
Here's the thing.
All right.
It's Steve Snapper Jones, not Steve Clipper Jones.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Come on, Brock.
I know.
Yeah, I wanted to correct you in the moment,
We
but I didn't
should
want to
do it. Correct me.
You're on a roll.
Snapper Jones. Yeah, that's right. Snapper.
Yeah, I thought you were
know
saying.
what we need to add to this segment? Pete's next. In between them.
Next.
So here's the thing. The Mariners are in first place, but they are so hard to watch right now because we have guys that just can't move him around the bases. Can you imagine where we would be if we were actually hitting the ball? Thank you very much. Amen.
If ifs or nuts or candies and butts, it'd be Christmas every day.
I like that he ended it with amen.
Not Dom Canzone in the 10th yesterday.
That's
he
right.
moved him right along.
You must have been happy watching that, Steve.
By the way, have you noticed Dom's new stance? It was a lot like the 80s and 90s players we grew up watching. That front toe, he's like kind of up on his
Kind of up, yeah.
Yes.
It's like the Dwight Evans type of thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, bring it back. Thank you.
So here's the thing. We really need the Mariners offense to step up. I'm just yelling, let's go, Julio!
Is that a real accent?
Is that our Irish friend? I heard our
He
Irish.
didn't sound like it when he yelled, let's
That's
go.
Gavin.
I heard Maura told me our Irish friend left a
Yeah,
voicemail.
James. Yeah, you weren't around for that.
Oh, sorry.
You missed out.
I was in Cancun.
Yeah.
1-2 Cancun.
You think that's a real accent on Gavin?
So here's the thing.
I don't know.
I think so.
No.
Sounds a little fake.
I think
Must be trying to protect his identity.
I'm with Maura. I think it's fake.
Here's the thing. Strikeouts hurt Salk.
Oh, that's it?
That's it. That's all there is on that one. Yep. Strikeouts hurt. Not the last 4 games, as the Mariners have won 4 straight and they get a chance to make it 5. We'll tell you about it and everything you need to know next. It's Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports on 710.
Seattle Sports, your home for Bump and Stacy.
Mike McDonald to Adam Schefter said that Sam can still lead from a backup role. What's that mean when you're reading between the lines? Sam is a backup. Gino is your starter. But I'm still making this the hype train. Gino will be your starter for 17 games.
As long as Gino does not get injured, he is the guy. That's easy for me.
Gino will be your starter for 17 games. Curtis, are you boarding?
I don't see it. I think Sam Howell will be under center to start at least one game this season.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Hey, Brock Ewart here with you this morning. And if you hear my voice and you're sitting in chronic pain that is affecting your quality of life, then would you consider reaching out to my buddy, Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD, with Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine right over there in Kirkland, 425-823-4000. Dr. Dan is Washington's leading specialist when it comes to interventional pain medicine. This has been his business for over 30 years, helping thousands dramatically reduce or eliminate their chronic pain using interventional pain and regenerative medicine techniques. He's one of the few physicians in the state with the experience and the training to diagnose and treat whatever walks through the door. Yeah, and that includes with a really cool tool called stem cell therapy. Now, just an outpatient procedure that uses your body's natural healing process to rebuild damaged tissue, heal your injuries, and eliminate that pain. So don't let pain stop you from doing what you love. Call Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD, at 425-823-4000 or visit danielnelsonmd.com. That's danielnelsonmd.com.
DQ presents how to enjoy the 3 best cookies at the same time. First, grab the new Ultimate Cookie Blizzard from DQ. Then dig into Oreo, Chips Ahoy, and Nutter Butter. And last but not least, repeat! Because the new Ultimate Cookie Blizzard packs all 3 into one powerhouse of a treat. So you can enjoy the best cookie trifecta in every red spoonful. Hurry in for a taste today. Only at DQ. Happy tastes good.
Free! Who doesn't love free? With Milo's Rewards, you get the member-only treatment that's actually worth it. Enjoy free member gifts you'll love. And once you reach Silver Key status, you can get free standard shipping. Because Lowe's knows nothing feels better than free. Learn more about our new loyalty program at Lowe's.com/Milo's Rewards today. Program subject to terms and conditions. See Lowe's.com/terms for details. Member gifts may be subject to additional terms and restrictions. See Lowe's.com/shipping terms for details. Subject to change.
This is Seahawks Game Day host G. Scott. The 2024 season is here. This team has it all. Young talent, proven vets, and swagger. Secure your seats now at Seahawks.com/tickets. Let's bring it, 12s.
Looking for the best synthetic turf in the Northwest? At Synthetic Turf Northwest, we resell our premium line of Northwest Pro natural products to both businesses and consumers. From industry-leading supplies to expert advice, we have everything you need to complete your installation, whether it's for your customers or your own DIY project. Call us today and discover why we're the Northwest's trusted source for quality synthetic turf. Get started with Synthetic Turf Northwest and elevate your outdoor space. SyntheticTurfNorthwest.com, 425-788-0718.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
For over 111 years, Pacific Lamp and Supply Company has been your #1 lighting specialist in Washington. From the Space Needle in Seattle and now all the way to the Riverwalk in Spokane. Pacific Lamp and Supply Company, Washington's lighting experts since 1912. PacificLamp.com.
Headed outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nellie on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on SeattleSports.com.
Are you an annoying know-it-all? Answering questions no one asked of you? Do people often ask you, how do you sleep at night? Then you should go to Mattress Firm. They have knowledgeable sleep experts specifically trained to help match you with the right mattress, so anyone, even people like you, can sleep. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Hey, it's Dave Wyman with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD from Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Dr. Wagner is hosting a free stem cell webinar Tuesday, June 11th to explain stem cell therapy.
I'm really looking forward to this live webinar to educate on how using your own stem cells can be an extremely successful method to help regenerate native tissue in rotator cuffs, meniscus tears, and reduce pain in osteoarthritic joints.
And which joints have you seen good success with?
Shoulders, elbows, hips, knees, even wrists and ankles. And in this live webinar, we'll tell you all about the procedure, how simple and safe it is using your own stem cells, and how we determine if you're a candidate.
Dr. Wagner has performed over 20,000 stem cell procedures. Are you in pain? Join him Tuesday, June 11th at 6 p.m. for the free stem cell webinar and learn all about this amazing procedure. Register now at drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
Feeling lucky? Don't miss the Lucky Spring Classic Collector Car Truck and Boat Auction, Saturday, June 1st at Tacoma's LeMay Marymount Event Center. Up to 200 collector, vintage, and classic vehicles. Many going to the highest lucky bidder with absolutely no reserve. Get lucky, get local, and get in line. Visit LuckyOldCar.com. That's LuckyOldCar.com. Or call 206-467-6531 for bidding and consignment details.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Yeah, this Mariner team sure has its own style, and when they win, oftentimes they win their way. Last night was yet another example. Pitching duel through the first 9 innings of this game. Tremendous work from both Justin Verlander and George Kirby, essentially matching each other step for step. 1-1, they go to the 10th, and J.P. Crawford walks it off.
To set the pitch. Swinging a fly ball. This will be enough. Plenty enough. Tucker is back in the corner. He makes the catch. Clase is racing home. It's a walk-off sacrifice fly from J.P. Crawford. He is hoisted in the air by the caveman Luke Raley at first base. And the Mariners have just won the series. They've walked off the Astros in 10.
You want a weird comp? J.P. Crawford's swing, whenever I see it, reminds me of an LPGA golfer. He's got this like extra extension forward, and when you watch the LPGA, they have a ton of great extension both at the front and back of their swing. For some reason, when JP's hitting, it reminds me of an LPGA golfer, and he certainly did what he needed to do last night. Quite the ride to get there, though. Kirby, as I've said, was awesome. He went 6 innings, was really, really good. Verlander was tremendous. Kirby, I think one of the great things about his night was that he used all of what he had.
We didn't stray away from like 2 seams in, all that kind of stuff. We really relied on the slider tonight, splitter, getting my curveball going a little more, kind of just using the whole arsenal tonight, which was really good.
Just like 6 or 7 pitches.
Yeah, his splitter in slow-mo is, I mean, all of their splitters are outrageous, but something about his, maybe it's my, well, not just me, it's Pitching Ninja's fascination with him throwing a knuckle, too. That ball just dives when it is on. And I don't know how you possibly hit.
It also seems, though, like if you watch Kirby, it feels like he could just go an entire outing throwing nothing but sinkers. Like if he really needed to, be like, yeah, I'm just going to go two-seamer for the entire day, and that's just going to be my outing, and let's see what happens. I don't know if he would have gone 6 innings and only allowed 1 run, but I bet he'd still had quite a bit of success. Mariners win once again, and they just keep finding ways.
Our guys, understand you got to beat these teams. These are the teams, you want to win the division, you got to beat the teams that have been there. They have owned the division here over the last 6-7 years, and it's not going to be easy. You got to figure out a way every night, and you're going to have different guys contribute, and that's what we're doing right now. So, again, we're still not hitting our stride offensively, but we're finding a way to win because we're leaning on our strength right now, and that's our pitching.
And that guy right there from day one has said, I want my team to be hard to play against. And T-Mobile's becoming very hard to play against. 14-4 since April 15th. And I remember as a competitor going into different environments, be like, man, I hated playing there. I hated the fans. I hated the noise. I hated the field. I hated all of it. And you can't tell me these Astros, when they pack their bags later today, trying to salvage one game, don't leave this place and go, I hate facing these guys. I hate hitting here. I hate facing these pitchers here. One of the big differences, Adam Jude was tweeting last night about George's home road splits, significant. 8 home runs he's given up on the road, just 1 at home. You limit the damage, you limit the long ball. This staff does that. You're going to have stretches of going 14-4 quite often.
Now, it's interesting, JP gets to be the hero last night, along with Canzone and a couple of other guys who really played a huge role. Had they been able to score in the 9th, the story really would have been Julio, right? With 1 out, he singles, he steals second, he goes to third on a bad throw, and he finds himself in scoring position with 1 out, essentially by himself. Not just scoring position, on third base with 1 out, essentially by himself. That's pretty awesome. That was just a little bit of don't forget, Julio Rodriguez has a skill set that not everybody on this team has, and it was nearly 2 nights in a row that he was the big hero.
We talked about 40-40 before the year.
Yep.
One of those 40s is in play.
For sure. The other one, probably not so much. 4 straight wins now for the Mariners. 3 against Houston. Finale today at 1:10. Logan Gilbert against Spence Arigati, who apparently has an ERA near 7.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
I'm talking today about the Seahawks defense specifically because Bucky Brooks said in his column that they are more talented than what Mike McDonald had in Baltimore last year. Could it be true, Brock?
Gosh, on the surface, we remember that Baltimore Ravens game. Not even on the surface. We remember watching that game. And you look at the numbers. 9 sacks for Clowney, 9 sacks for Van Noy, 13 sacks for Madubuike. The linebackers that run sideline to sideline. Geno Stone seemed to have like 52 interceptions last year. Really? More talented? Well, that's production. And those guys were hyper-productive week to week. What Bucky is talking about is just man-to-man. Just mano-a-mano. You walk in the door, which one do you want? Who do you want? You want their nickel? You want Devin Witherspoon? You want Leonard Williams and Jaron Reed, or do you want their big guys? Do you want their edge guys or your edge, right? I mean, you just kind of go through the list, and yeah, I think it's maybe 6'5", 5'6", but it's really close. And we've said it once, we've said it 100 times. We're going to get to see him in a whole new scheme as well.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
Oilers win 5-2, so that series is evened up 2-2 with Dallas. So Stanley Cup playoffs proceeding very, very well in terms of some interesting series.
Rangers 2-2 as well?
I believe that is, right? Yeah, I think it is. And then,
so your vitriol for New York extends to the Rangers as much as it does the Yankees.
Have you ever met a Rangers fan?
Yes.
When?
I worked at ESPN
just with
for
shoes
12
on, right?
years.
Doesn't count.
Her name was Linda Cohn. She worked at KIRO with Steve Rabel.
That's true. Linda's sort of the one Rangers fan.
Elko? You don't love Elko?
I do love Elko.
Then shut your mouth.
She's the exception that proves the rule. She really is. Rangers fans are generally the same people as Yankees fans. She's a unique Rangers Mets fan.
How can you hate Elko?
Because she's a unique Rangers Mets fan.
Whatever.
You don't get a lot of those. All right, that's everything you need to know. I can't bring myself to play the Scotty Scheffler lawyer again.
No.
Hick, who has Scotty has working for him.
It's obvious he didn't do anything wrong.
That's
As
right.
I've said repeatedly, the more evidence that comes out, the more it shows that, Scotty was a victim here. It is remarkable the restraint and character he evidenced, not only during the incident.
Which is better, evidence as a noun, evidence as a verb, or incident?
It's good.
What's your favorite there?
Have you listened to any John Grisham? Are you a John Grisham guy?
Not really.
Not really? Maura, Justin, John Grisham guy?
I've read some of his books, yeah.
In his audiobooks with all of his Southern lawyers, does he mix it up? Because that guy would be...
Sound like this
really
guy?
good. Perfect.
Just bring this guy in.
Just bring him in.
The evidence.
Perfecto.
That's everything you need to know. A quarter past every hour here on the Brock and Salk Show. All right.
I'll give you one more little bummer. One thing you need to know that was all...
Yeah, give me another bummer. Bum me out, please.
No, actually, I'm not going to do it. I'm gonna ask
Things
Chris
are
Petersen
going
about
pretty
it.
well today.
They
Why
are.
don't you bum me out?
I'm not going to do that.
Is this because you're in your own head about my mom?
No, I'm kind of over that. Blue
That's
88
good.
did fortify me a little bit.
Good.
I was a little shook earlier, but I feel a little bit better now. No, I'll ask Chris about it because it's a college athletics question. It's a little bit of a Husky question, not just a Husky football question, but kind of an NIL conversation. You can ask him about the ruling. He was over there, and he noticed you and Maura, by the way.
Well, we said hi to him.
Chatted with Chris offline. Oh, you did?
Yeah. We shook his hand and said, hey, Chris, how are you?
He asked where you were.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Did he say
I mean, it wasn't
King
like
Kong?
he didn't like spot us from a distance with infrared. Like
sprinting
we
along.
said hi to the man.
Oh, fine.
It was
okay.
like what's your favorite word? Collegial? It was a collegial conversation.
Nice.
It was
Good.
congenial.
He was talking to Ryan Grubb. Yeah, he asked where you were, and we were like, oh, he's in Mexico.
Cancun.
That's right. He lived the good life. Chris Petersen was at practice, and he's going to join us next. Talk about it. Brock and Salk, Seattle Sports on 710, seattlesports.com.
The Dugout. Go in depth with the Mariners.
Goodbye, baseball.
With voices like Rick Riz, Aaron Goldsmith, and Dave Sims.
This is a club that has the ability to go on another run. You never know when a team is going to get hot.
This team's window is wide open. Hear from the players and coaches and go behind the scenes with insider Shannon Dreyer.
We are seeing him comfortable with where he is at the plate. We're seeing a guy that has his timing.
The Dugout. Tuesdays at 1 p.m. on Seattle Sports.
A slow network is no network for business. That's why more choose Comcast Business. And now we're introducing Ultimate Speed for Business, our fastest plans yet. We're up to 12 times faster than Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile. And existing customers could even get up to triple the speeds at no additional cost. All from the company with 99.9% network reliability and advanced cybersecurity. It's Ultimate Speed from Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Don't miss out on our fastest speed plans yet. Get started with internet and security for $49.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year contract. Plus, ask how to get up to an $800 prepaid card with a qualifying internet package. Don't wait. Call 1-800-501-6000 or go to ComcastBusiness.com to switch today. In 62324, restrictions apply. New customers only with 150 megabits per second internet and security edge. Eco bill and auto pay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Compares Comcast Business 1.25 gig to 100 megabits per second of Verizon 5G Business, AT&T Wireless Broadband, and T-Mobile for Business. Up to 3 times download for existing essential and standard internet customers.
At Lowe's, save big every day when you buy in bulk. Save 10% when you buy 68 or more OSB sheathing. And there's more. Save 10% on select James Hardie products when you buy in bulk. Visit us in-store or online for low prices on the materials you need. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location while supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Are you putting off your new kitchen plans? Why wait? Hi, Chad Cicchini, owner of Heritage Homecraft. Call today for a free in-home estimate. Years of experience, thousands of happy customers. Heritage Homecraft, 425-485-1600 or heritagehomecraft.com.
Hey, it's Mike Salk here, and if you're looking for a fun night out, well, you know Snoqualmie Casino is just the place to go. Have some fun and unwind. Fall's Buffet is back open. They're serving up all your favorites. You can enjoy prime rib daily, plus fresh pasta, made-to-order stir-fry, and noodles, and pizzas, and salad bar, and dessert bar. They got the pies made every day. And then Vista Prime has amazing happy hour menus, which start at 4 o'clock, and those breathtaking views of the Snoqualmie Valley and Mount Si. You know it's Seattle's closest, only 30 minutes from downtown. It is Snoqualmie Casino.
It's Cookies Country Chicken pregame fry time reminder.
Headed to the ball game? Come on down to Cookies in Pioneer Square for some real good chicken and tell them,
make it spicy.
Fresh fried chicken at Cookies. CookiesCountryChicken.com.
Lexus is electrified, and the first ever RZ450E has the performance and range to get you where you need to go with the exclusive Lexus Direct 4 all-wheel drive technology. Lexus of Bellevue has over 50 RZs available for immediate delivery with electrifying savings up to $17,000 lease cash on every RZ450E. Visit LexusofBellevue.com.
On approval of credit through LFS, lease cash from Lexus available on select 2024 RZ styles. Must take delivery by June 3rd, 2024. A documentary service fee up to $200 may be added to the purchase price or capitalized costs. See dealership for details.
We are Seattle Sports.
Class A is racing home. It's a walk-off sacrifice fly from J.P. Crawford.
The home of the Mariners.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency on earth, and if you owe back taxes, the news isn't good. The IRS is raising the interest rate it charges on unpaid taxes, and further rate hikes are expected. Most people don't know it, but the IRS adds interest charges to your tax debts daily. So if you owe the IRS today, you'll owe even more tomorrow. And it doesn't stop until you get right with the IRS. The good news is getting right can start with one phone call to Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax relief firm. Optima's tax professionals specialize in the Fresh Start Initiative, a powerful IRS program that can save you thousands if you qualify. In fact, the experts at Optima have resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients. Call now for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
At Shane Company, we believe everyone deserves a personal jeweler, a friend to guide you, to help you find jewelry that feels like it was made just for you, or a gift that will spark joy for that special someone. Shane Company's jewelry is crafted with the greatest care and held to the highest quality standards so it will last a lifetime. We're passionate about bringing you the most beautiful gemstones, exquisite diamonds, rubies, and sapphires in every color of the rainbow, so you will always shine your brightest. Our jewelry is designed for you. With so many styles and endless ways to customize your piece, you can create a necklace that's meaningful to you, an engagement ring to tell your love story, or a stack of bracelets to let your personality shine. Discover a more personal jewelry experience and modern heirlooms as unique as you are. We're all made to shine. Shane Company. Fine jewelry since 1929.
You're listening to Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Seahawks, another open practice today for their OTA. This is their second of 4 that will be open to the media. And hey, this may be the last year we get OTAs because it sounds like they're itching to change that and go to a longer training camp next year. We'll see if that goes down. When Moore and I were out there last week, we did bump into Coach Chris Petersen. He's kind enough to take a few minutes with us now. Coach, how we doing?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Oh, we're doing great. You kidding me? The Mariners are in first place, 3.5 games up on those Rangers. They're burying the cheating Astros. All that sounds awesome.
I love it. Yeah. I love watching the Mariners. It's so competitive. That's what I think about when I watch those guys. The league, the parity. They're just scrapping and competing, and I just appreciate their spirit.
You know what? You would have been a pretty good manager. Did you ever think of yourself? We talk about this, the difference between coaches and why a baseball guy is called a manager and not a coach, because you got to manage everything and manage everybody and manage 162 games in 180 days. Did you ever feel like by the end of coaching you were more manager than coach?
Yeah, probably. Certainly as my career evolved, it's like you got out of the X's and O's and much more into, like you're saying, managing and all those type of things. But I will tell you this, I've gotten to know Scott Service over the years and understand what their season looks like in the spring training. And I thank my lucky stars that I was not a baseball coach because of the grind, like all coaches grind, but that season is ridiculous. And I remember talking to him last year, before they started, a little bit in the middle of the season, and then, had a call with him at the end of the season when I think were in late August, and I could just hear it in his voice.
Yeah.
Like, what wear and tear it is. I don't think that, the average fan realizes how difficult that season is. I mean, you're basically practicing to get better in the games because you're either playing or traveling on a plane, and there's no time in between. And that's just such a foreign concept to me as a coach, where you have a whole week to really try to tweak and adjust and improve and adapt. And then you go, really put it to test on the weekend, and then you go do it again. And that's just not how baseball works.
Yeah, and that's before you get into just, losing a baseball game isn't the end of the world. It's not like losing a football game. And sometimes you don't make every decision designed to just win that game. You've got to be thinking about the long term, the medium term, a little of everything. So, yeah, I think those are really all very great comments. And I'm not surprised that Scott, the longer he gets into the season, the more, the less fun he is to talk to. I'm sure he would admit that, as would every manager out there. Let's talk some football, though, because you were out at practice last week for the Seahawks. What'd you see?
I think a couple things jumped out at me. What a great looking team, just physically. I mean, John Snyder, he's got some guys over there. I mean, there is no question about it that just walking around and looking at the defensive guys and the length and the size of the secondary, I was like, whew, wow. That was probably the first thing that jumped out to me. The second thing was probably the newness of the staff. A lot of focused energy, teaching. The times that I've been there in the past, so many years with Pete and his style and his system, guys really knew what was going on, and the energy and, the Christmas and everybody running around. And, Pete ran a program a lot different than a lot of NFL guys do. He had a little bit more of that college spirit than a lot of the pros do. And so I felt like, that was different. And again, I think a lot of it has to do with the newness of Coach McDonald and his staff of just really teaching. Sometimes you take for granted, like, okay, where do we go for this drill? Where are we going for that drill? Is this ones versus twos versus ones? How do all these little nuances, and when you're there as long as Coach KIRO and his crew, like that just happens seamlessly.
Chris
and then
Peter,
probably the third.
go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was going to say the third thing that jumped out at me, and again, it's kind of still underwear Olympics. I get it over there. They don't have pads. They're not really playing. But I thought Geno Smith looked really good. I mean, I'm like, the accuracy and what that ball looks like coming out of his hand and all those type of things. I was like, geez, I forgot they got Geno. And Geno's, he's a wily veteran for sure by now with the experience he's got the last couple of years.
Yeah, it's funny that your first point, Coach Petersen here with us, is just like the physical frame, right? Just the talent that these guys have and inherit. And I wonder for Scott, or for Ryan Grubb and Scott Huff in particular, two guys that have been collegiate lifers, to now take that step to the NFL level and have this kind of talent to work with. What do you think their optics is, and have you had any conversations with them? Yeah,
that's interesting to say that, because I'm sure they are going, wow, these are some dudes, no question about it. This is the best of the best. But that's not what jumped out to me in our conversations when I did talk to them. I think probably the first thing is again, being new in any situation, and the adjustment and change that happens, like how hard that is. So they're trying to get their ways implemented, their styles, their systems. They had that thing, obviously, running pretty smoothly over there at UW, where, a lot of these little nuances are taken for granted. Now nothing's taken for granted. They are starting from scratch. And they really have to earn and build the credibility in their rooms that they're teaching. Mm-hmm. And so you could really feel the focus and intention of like getting this system, this new system, and their way of doing things installed. And the second thing that probably came out is, even though they had heard about the schedule, how shocking it is between NFL and college. The time that they actually have to get home and see their family, to be able to see their son or daughter play a sport on the weekend at this time of year, they're still trying to I can't believe I get to see my family.
What we're talking to Chris Petersen, coach. You've taken over programs twice, right? You first at Boise State, and you were the coordinator there, right? So you knew a lot of the people, et cetera. But you took over as a coach for the first time there, and then later when you came to Washington. What is it like to take over a program? And I'm trying to think about it from Coach McDonald's point of view, as he's coming in new, he's bringing all his people. A lot of the folks are predating him, whether they're players or people in the front office, et cetera. What is it like to try to institute your personality, your everything into a new program?
Can I just add one little thing? Can I add one little thing or challenge one little thing to that, Saul? Because I think it's important context as Chris answers this. He didn't bring his people. It's not like he had his whole staff from Baltimore.
Right.
He's got guys that are all new, all over the place that he has never worked with. So add that context, Chris, to your answer as well.
I can't tell you how hard and challenging that is going to be, because you have – so, my time at Boise, when I took over, I was there for 5 years, and we were doing pretty well. So, and even though I didn't totally know what I was doing as a head coach, I just kept doing the things that were working, and a couple things that I thought the team wanted or we didn't like, we adjusted those things to kind of pour gas on the fire, and it all went. Then you come over to Washington, and I think depending on how different your styles and cultures and systems are, because there's always going to be some difference, but some are much different than others, that can be just shocking. And I've said this many times, I have so much respect for Steve Sarkisian and what he did at Washington, what he's doing now. I mean, he's growing. It's awesome to watch. But our styles were so completely different in terms of running the teams and the organizations that I've described the first 2 years at Washington, and that's me bringing our entire staff, as culture shock. And so for what Mike McDonald's going into as a first-time head coach, taking people from all over, putting their way together, which they're kind of creating on the run, it is a huge, huge challenge. But this guy is extremely smart, as we know. He is a great football coach, X's and O's. And it'll be really cool to watch him build this along with John Snyder and all the experience there. And they're going to do some really cool things, and I can't wait to sit back and watch.
Let me follow up on that just because I'm curious. So you show up to Washington, and I think that's really well said about the respect for Sark, but also just the completely different styles. And I think that's probably going to mimic what we're seeing here in Seattle with the Seahawks as well. But what was your first step? When you said, okay, it's going to be a culture shock. We're going to completely change the culture of this organization. What was the first thing you did to try to do that?
Well, I think there's, even though I had been a head coach for 8 years over there, and you come to a new situation, you really have to treat that as a brand new and start from scratch situation. And I think the first thing is really selling the players on your vision going forward, and not assuming just because you say, hey, this is how we're going to be, everybody's all in. And so I think it's really important to partner with the guys who are there, the vets that have been there, that have seen a lot of different places. Most of these guys have been different places before they're, the vets that before they came to Seattle. So they've seen a lot of things, and they've seen some things that really work well, some things that probably don't work well. And so, we could talk for a long time on this subject you just brought up, but I think the main thing is to have your way, but it's not only just your way. It's going to be the Seahawk way. It's going to be what John Snyder thinks. It's also going to be what some of those vets that have been around that are really smart and seen a lot of things. And to really create a partnership and build this thing together going forward. I think that's one of the things, if I had a do-over walking back into the University of Washington, I would have partnered more quickly with the guys that were there and try to create this together rather than saying, hey, this is how we go here. I would like a do-over on that one.
Coach Petersen here with us this morning. So appreciate the time. I do want just a question on the college end of things here in just a minute. But before I do, my last Seahawk and NFL question. When you were at Boise, when you were at Washington, how much NFL scheme, how much NFL tape, how much time did you spend studying this game, this NFL game versus your collegiate game?
Yeah, that's a great question. We would watch the NFL. We would, we finally got access. For a while, you couldn't get access to the NFL tape. And then they relaxed those rules, and then we had full access. I think it wasn't until the time I got to Washington that you could see all the NFL games. And we would make some cut-ups off of things that they're doing. But you have to pick and choose because it's almost like you can just be chasing ghosts, as we'd say. There's just like so much tape, and you could watch hours and days and months and still, not have the answers. So you really have to watch people that are very similar to what you're trying to do. And so that could come from other colleges. That could come from high schools. I think some of these high school coaches these days are tremendous and tremendously creative. In some ways, more creative than the NFL and the colleges. Sometimes we're too scared to get outside of that box because of the stage that we're on. And the high school guys, they don't care. They're going to go try it. They're going to be creative. They're going to be innovative. And so you have high school teams that do things that you do, and you might watch some of that. And you're like, look what these guys are doing. And you got the NFL on the other side. So really the trick is, you're watching tape all the time, but you have to hone in to who are you, and who's like you that can best help you.
You ever see anybody built quite like Byron Murphy?
So no, I think he's going to be super interesting to watch, and it's almost unfair. I think everybody's, thinking, okay, is this the next Aaron Donald? Now, Aaron Donald's a one of one, built like that, because so often those guys inside there are such large creatures. I mean, they are just the biggest, strongest, and baddest people, walking around that play in that interior D line. You got the Vita Veys and Williams, Leonard Williams, and those guys. And Byron's not quite built like that, but neither was Aaron Donald. But the explosiveness, the instincts, the quickness, the quick twitch. I can't wait to watch him play.
Yeah. And just the bend and the athleticism.
Oh, yeah, it's all that stuff, right? It's just so athletic. That's the word. Like, you don't see those guys like that are like that athletic.
I don't think he's ever going to find shorts that fit.
Yeah, no doubt.
You got any more Seahawks one, Salk? I got one. I got transition to a little college.
Oh, why don't you talk some college?
What do you think of the ruling last week? What do you think of the settlement between the Power 5 conferences and the $2.7 billion and the $20 million and some pool now that's going to go to every school and player? What did Chris Petersen make when that headline came down?
I'm still trying to process all this. Like really everybody is in college athletics. I mean, it's almost things are happening so fast. The rate of change is making your head spin. But in some ways, it also feels like this is a Band-Aid that is very slowly being ripped off. If that makes any sense. It's like, okay, now what does this mean? Now what does that mean? And it's really going to probably take another, handful of months to figure this thing out. Like, okay, where are we? And then, as we know, it's going to evolve from there once we kind of get the boundaries and the structure and the rulings. And so how do we make this work? I don't know. I mean, the thing that just makes my stomach a little bit upset and have this negative feeling in it is the dramatic effect that it's going to have on a lot of other sports, not called football and basketball, and what that's going to look like for college athletics moving forward.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, I think that's something for 15 years, Salky, you and I have railed upon and yelled at each other about and gotten back and forth, and just the greater good for all of those student athletes versus those at the very top of the mountain and the rainmakers that are going to, well, be reining in a whole lot of money. And then ultimately the impact that has on 18-year-olds and 17-year-olds, and then ultimately the impact that has on high school kids. And ultimately, it just starts the clock faster and faster and faster and faster and faster.
Well, again, I'm going to find myself on the opposite side from you guys on this, on a lot of it, but that's all fine with me. Then just take the money out of the game, stop putting them on TV, stop spending billions of dollars with TV rights deals made off the backs of the kids that are the product. And I'm with you. That would be great. But as long as somebody's going to make billions of dollars off of it, then I think the product deserves to get paid as well.
Yeah. And I think that, again, that needs to happen still, where the best of the best, whatever that means, breaks away and does their own thing. And then everybody else can, quote, fall back. And, you'd like to see college athletics for what it was, like how I grew up, what I went through.
Right.
All that type of thing. So I think we're talking about apples and oranges. But I will say this, too, those that do break away, or what this, elite level of college sports looks like when we're going to be paying the kids and all that. I really hope that it's not truly just going to turn into semi-pro ball. I don't think there's that many people that are super excited about that. I hope that they can get really creative and still put some unique spin on this if we're going to do this, because we already have pro sports. So, okay, are we talking semi-pro sports here? Yes. Well, okay. I just think there's going to be like a lot of fans that just are like, well, that's not me. So, can it turn into like European soccer, where you have this league and people can get relegated, and you have this other league that people could, they do well enough to get into? Now that would be so interesting to pay attention to. And so, but it's so hard to even go there when everybody's trying to just figure out, okay, what are the rules here? And, how does, like, the states have each state has different rules, and how does NIL still factor in, because it's still going to be a factor, they're saying, and how does Title IX, it's just, there's so much unknown now, even though we know certain things that are going to happen. That's where I'm saying this Band-Aid just feels like it's just being slowly peeled back, and people, nobody likes uncertainty.
Well, let me tell you, as a guy with really hairy arms and legs and back, tearing that Band-Aid off slowly is no good. Like, that doesn't feel good at all. You got to rip that sucker off as quickly as possible.
Not going to happen. Not going to happen in this thing. This is going to take some time. I'm telling you.
You want to be the commissioner?
Think we got it all. Say again?
You want to be the commissioner? Because that's the one potential upshot here, is there will be like one person in charge. You want to be the commissioner of college football?
No, I want to be about the third commissioner. So, the first guy, like everybody said, like, why are we doing that? The second guy comes in, changes that. Why are we doing that? And the third guy comes in and says, okay, I got the lay of the land now. I know how we can really tweak this and make it better. I want to be that guy.
All right. Well, so we can set that up for you, Coach. Thanks for spending a few minutes with us. Always great to catch up with you. Talk football and a wide range of everything else, even a little baseball today. You never know. We appreciate it. It's good to see you last week.
All right, guys. Take care. Enjoy
Thanks,
the day.
Chris. Okay. So much salt. Look at this little sheet right here. I mean, just so many stinking notes I got on this thing. Let me just say to the last point there, when I was down at the Big Ten meetings, if you'd have been in my hip pocket like you were at that Super Bowl party with Cam Newton years and years ago, Salt, if you'd have been in my little hip pocket at these Big Ten meetings this year versus 12 years ago, 15 years ago, you would have seen the stark contrast. You would have seen a whole bunch of coaches that have no idea what in the world's going on. To Chris's point, head spinning. Like, I don't know. I'm just trying to keep my head above water. I have no idea where this is going. I have no idea where the rules are. There is no structure. There is no guard. Like, it just is, I don't want to say aimless or listless, because there's still coaches, and within their programs, they know exactly how to coach their sport.
It's got to be so weird for them not being the only ones getting rich.
You just keep coming back to that, but you're missing the key point. Yeah, okay, Salk, you're right. the billions of dollars on football and basketball players, you know who aren't being watched as much and whose whole conference just fell into the cliff because they thought all of these sports were going to be watched and their network was going to be watched and nobody watched?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you saw what happened. That whole conference is gone. It's done. It's over, right? So the non-revenue sports, the sports that don't bring in that have just the same tremendous talent that becomes Olympic talent, that may become professional talent down the road. What will happen? That's why Chris's stomach's
I don't know, but
because
Brock,
you just so easily come at this hammer
maybe
with
the
me
coaches
and
don't need to make $10 million a year, and maybe the football facilities don't need to have tens of millions of dollars thrown into them as well.
Yeah, and
maybe you could afford to travel a volleyball team around the country if LSU didn't need to have brand new lockers every 3 days with the world's greatest technology inside of them to recruit whatever kid they need to get. It's not like the money is only going to those spots. Like, they're blowing money left and right.
Have you seen the budgets for athletic departments across the country? Don't give me a hammer of a couple handful of guys that make $10 million and a couple programs that make a whole lot. Have you seen? Go look at the books. Go again at a conference that just fell off into the ocean is no longer. Go look at their numbers. Go look at their numbers, and it will tell a very different story than what you're talking about. And those are just, and you go, they just fudge the numbers. They're rolling in cash, and all these programs make all this money. Okay,
I'm not saying they all do, but I'm saying as long as there are the billions of dollars have to go somewhere, right?
And I think also what Chris is saying is, okay, these billions of dollars have come in because these ratings have been through the roof. If you become a semi-pro league, second to the NFL, will you have that same passion and viewership? Will you have those same eyeballs? Will you make those same kind of dollars? Are these networks that are cutting back in a bunch of places?
Probably yes.
You think so? Okay.
I think you probably will.
Oh, you may. I don't think it's a surefire bet.
Do you think that the thing that makes college football popular is the fact that it is not professional?
Oh, I think the fact that it is generational,
that
it is
that's
different,
not going to change.
That it is different than the NFL.
Those things aren't going to change.
That it's a different game. Well, it's good. It could change with 60, 70 of these Division I programs that are no longer that. It could change when there's no longer a level playing field. But you're still
rooting for your alma mater, the school in your area, the school that your parents went to.
Okay.
You went
is our
to
program director driving over to every game in Pullman this year when things have changed?
Well, that's obviously an extreme example, given that they're one of two schools that just got completely jobbed.
Well, yeah, but what when it's 70 of those schools? When it's 80 of those schools.
But when it's 70 or 80 of those schools, then there's a whole bunch of them that are all together playing each other. When
and
it's
not playing
two
at the
of those
highest level. And not having a chance to play at the highest level.
They never had a chance to play at the highest level anyway.
Sure they did. They've been to Rose
Tell me
Bowls.
about all of the recent times when Kyle was driving over to get excited for a Rose Bowl that Wazoo was going to, or a national championship.
I don't know when Gardner Minshew was 11-1. And Game Day was there for the greatest show ever at Game Day, and they had an opportunity to beat the Huskies. And if there was a 12-team playoff, they would have been in the playoff.
But there wasn't, and they didn't. And
now they won't even.
We got to take a quick break. We're going to come back, keep fighting about this. It's Brock and Salk, Sales Sports on 710.
Seattle Sports, your home for Wyman and Bob.
The Mariners still in first place. They should be able to extend that lead.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
That's what you want. You want that gap to grow because the rest of this division right now is not very good. This is the worst division in baseball. If the Mariners can just get that offense going just a little bit more consistently, they might be able to get a little more daylight between them and whoever's going to sit in second. And right now it's the Texas Rangers. And if you can really build that gap, that goes a long way.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Summer's here and it's time for you to put yourself in the game. But you don't have to do it alone. Come visit the incredible showroom and the all-star team at Toyota of Kirkland. With a large selection of over 70 brand new Tundras and Tacomas on the lot, you'll be able to test drive one and take it home the same day. And don't forget about that lifetime powertrain warranty. Now that's how you become the MVP. Come in today or visit online at toyotaofkirkland.com. toyotaofkirkland.com.
Are you putting off your new kitchen plans? Why wait? Hi, Chad Cicchini, owner of Heritage Homecraft. Call a day for a free in-home estimate. Years of experience, thousands of happy customers. Heritage Homecraft, 425-485-1600 or heritagehomecraft.com.
Hey there, you in aisle 2. I see you by the fiber and laxatives. You still using those to manage your constipation with belly pain? If your symptoms keep coming back, you may have irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C. So you may need more than over-the-counter treatments to manage it. Ask your doctor about how Linzess can help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Hey, it's Dave Wyman with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD from Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Dr. Wagner is hosting a free stem cell webinar Tuesday, June 11th to explain stem cell therapy.
I'm really looking forward to this live webinar to educate on how using your own stem cells can be an extremely successful method to help regenerate native tissue in rotator cuffs, meniscus tears, and reduce pain in osteoarthritic joints.
And which joints have you seen good success with?
Shoulders, elbows, hips, knees, even wrists and ankles. And in this live webinar, we'll tell you all about the procedure, how simple and safe it is using your own stem cells, and how we determine if you're a candidate.
Dr. Wagner has performed over 20,000 stem cell procedures. Are you in pain? Join him Tuesday, June 11th at 6 p.m. for the free stem cell webinar and learn all about this amazing procedure. Register now at drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
Increase leads and get more customers. We create tailored digital marketing strategies that deliver results. So on your next campaign, aim higher. Go to aimyourdigital.com and get started today. aimyourdigital.com.
Access to quality healthcare is an important topic. So, let's talk about it. Optum Care Washington is here to make the health system work better for everyone by making quality primary and specialty care easier and more affordable. From Tacoma to Bellingham, you can see their top local doctors at more than 45 locations and get care on your schedule with innovative on-demand services. Learn about healthier care that's focused on you at Optum2024.com.
Calling all drivers. Here's why Polestar 2 is called the driver's EV. With all-electric performance and a range of up to 320 miles per charge, Polestar 2 has the power and handling to change your perceptions of EV driving. But the best way to find out for yourself is a test drive. Visit Polestar Bellevue to test drive Polestar 2 today. 320 mpg range based on model year 24 Polestar 2 long-range single-motor variant and EPA standard. Visit Polestar.com for full details.
And now, the pitchers for your Seattle Mariners.
No. Our guys don't pitch. They deal. Their stuff is so nasty, it turns the Mariners into the swing if you dariners.
Strikeout number 10 on the night for Luis. Holy smokes.
And so filthy, it's unfairness.
An absolutely ridiculous slider. It's the 12th strikeout tonight for Logan Gilbert.
They're a batter's worst nightmariners.
A heater at 100. Back-to-back strikeouts for Andres Munoz.
So no matter who's got the ball, you're out of there, inners.
Swing it, a miss, and the ball game's over.
Mariners baseball. Trident's up.
Be here at T-Mobile Park this weekend for a jam-packed series against the Angels. It all starts tomorrow with Country Music Fireworks Night at 7:10, presented by T-Mobile. Then celebrate Pride Day Saturday at 4:15, featuring a trucker hat giveaway for the first 10,000 fans, followed by the final Little League Day of the season on Sunday at 1:10. Get tickets at Mariners.com. It's a walk-off sacrifice fly from J.P. Crawford. He is hoisted in the air by the caveman Luke Raley at first base.
You're listening to 710 KIRO AM Seattle and KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma, the home of the Mariners.
Get in the freaking auto!
This is Brock and Salk.
Brock Ewart is my hero.
Jay Buhner just punched me in the kidney. On Seattle Sports.
We're going to accuse you of the interview.
Doesn't really work that way, Sherm. This is a show that has my name on it.
It kind of does, though.
Now, here are your hosts, Brock Ewart and Mike Salk.
Hello!
We go back to our own corners.
Morris said she was looking for a ding, ding, ding.
253 says, why you got to bring out my child of divorce anxiety? Stop fighting,
Yeah,
please.
when you stop fighting.
Well,
I
this
was looking for a ding, ding, ding to end it, but then I decided maybe I should just come back with this. Just like
I just try to calm
music.
everybody down.
Yeah.
Let's just everybody come back to center and set our intentions for this segment. Try to be kind to one another.
Hold on, you do this pretty well. Whoa, wait a second.
What did we just walk?
What's going on here?
What did we just walk into?
You're pretty good at this.
Is Maura a yoga instructor on the side?
Did you go to one of Aaron Rodgers' darkness retreats?
No. Well, do her goblin fingers show up in the yoga room as well?
Goblin? Gotten worse?
So why would you call them goblin fingers? That doesn't sound nice.
Justin,
ruin a nice moment.
No,
That
Justin.
wasn't really
the
what I was
yoga.
going for when I said to set your intention and be kind to one another.
Justin.
No, we'll be kind to each other. We're not going to be kind to you. That's
Justin,
a totally different
There's
thing.
a backstory with goblin fingers.
Yeah,
okay.
She
Goblin
was the
hands.
yoga instructor for the Mariners one spring
Was?
training.
True.
I think Salk looked at her fingers like.
I didn't say it. Whoa.
Oh, it wasn't
was
you?
not me.
Oh.
It was a player on the Mariners
It
who
was
said
a
that,
player.
who will remain nameless, who was like, yeah. We asked him about hey, how you using any of the new yoga stuff with the yoga instructor? He's like, oh, you mean goblin hands over there? No, I'm good. I'm not doing that. And then we looked over, and he was kind of right. Her fingers, like Maura's fingers, are long, but Maura's long.
Yes.
Like they kind of fit her.
Yes.
Right? Like she's long and lanky and lean, and her fingers are
Goblin hands was like Russell Wilson's hands and
Yes.
arms. Like, whoa.
Yeah, she was like normal size and then
Correct.
giant freaking hands.
Correct. Just
Yeah.
didn't fit.
It was like walking around with hamburger helper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She was a lot. That's a good question from the 253. Salk, who's Aaron Rodgers? I'm not sure. And I will do some research later to see if I can figure out who that is. I remember hearing something about a guy going on darkness retreats and treating everyone around him like crap. But I'll do my own research on that. I want to make sure I get the right
Maura,
person.
thank you for bringing us back to level.
Yes.
I've got a very important question, just a kindness question too, because I know that this is when you hear Chris Petersen talk, he echoed some of the sentiments that you have said over the last few months. And, frankly, Shannon Dreyer yesterday, at the very end of our chat with her on her birthday, was like, I want to say something. I did some studying, and let's all remember these are human beings in new environments. It didn't matter that Plonk was 15 years in one place. He's in a new place, and newness is not always easy, right? We want it to be. We want it to be fantasy football. We want to think they're interchangeable. We want to think they're robots. We want to think that, struggles that we have as humans, they don't have because for some reason they're professional players or coaches, but they do. And that newness, Chris said that word how many times?
A few.
Yes, a bunch of times, right? And he knows it. And you asked him about kind of culture and all of that. And I will be very curious as you go out and watch, week 2 of these OTAs. Does some of that newness, some of the continuity start to build? Or will this just be something that, hey, man, it is going to be a work in progress all season long, and there's no way around it?
This was Nick Baumgardner, who was on yesterday with Bump and Stacy, and I played this sound earlier this morning, but let me play it for you as well. Talking about one of the differences he thinks, he's one of the senior writers in football for The Athletic, and talking about one of the differences he thinks that we will see moving forward with Coach McDonald.
He does a really good job, I think, of crossing all the little details off so you're not going to get beat by sloppy stuff, and it allows your team to then take on more. I feel like that's maybe something that's been missing in Seattle for a while. That was at least a criticism of Pete, which was defense, if you're doing it right, is always good, but it's pretty simplistic, and we know what it is. With McDonald, it's not simplistic at all. It's pretty diverse, and I think he makes it really easy for those guys to learn.
You asked me yesterday, Brock, about the differences in coaches in hockey and whether they go from players coach to disciplinarian and back again. And, there are no more disciplinarians anymore for the most part. But it struck me that one of the differences we're probably now potentially going to see here in Seattle is the complete shift from fast and loose to tight and buttoned up.
Yep.
Right? I mean, Pete wanted his guys running around with their hair on fire
Right on the edge, man.
and
Right
was
on the edge.
willing to sacrifice a level of discipline for that extra gear that he thought he could bring out of people. Yep. And I don't know that there'll be a trade-off. I don't know that we'll always get that same extra gear out of McDonald's system.
So we're going to go from Aerosmith living on the edge.
Yes.
To...
See, I would have gone with 38 Specials, Hold On Loosely.
Okay,
but living
fine.
on the edge works too. Yeah.
He always wanted the guys frothing at the edge, and he would challenge you on discipline. He would say, no, Mike, that's not it at all. It's not about, how dare you say I'm not disciplined? We are disciplined. I want them on the edge, and I would substitute the emotion, the passion, maybe a personal foul for that. I would absolutely do that. It is going to be different, Mike McDonald, right? It is, but it's not going to be, it can't be sterile. And I thought that there was something super savvy that Chris said. And you asked him kind of about culture and how would you do it differently, and what did he say? I would partner with the vets better, and he kind of gave that counsel to Mike McDonald, right? I would make sure I partner in who was run out the first week of player availability, Uchenna Nwosu and Leonard Williams, and both kind of making waves, right? Uchenna just talking about how different it is and the details and everything else, and Leonard, talking about the pictures being a few pictures off the wall that became Picturegate for some reason. But, I think that there is an astute understanding that, yeah, man, I got to relate, and I'm going to be really close with these veteran guys to help us all establish this culture.
Yeah, Brock, if you need another song, I think I'd go with The Tighten Up by Archie Bell and the Drells from Houston, Texas.
That's who you'd roll with?
Well, I mean, if you're talking about living on the edge or hold on loosely, is sort of being the KIRO method, and you want to talk about what they're doing now, I'd go with Archie Bell and the Drells doing the Tighten Up.
I thought you were going to go from living on the edge to living on a prayer.
Well, that's different. That's maybe.
That was yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I go with Archie Bell and the Drells from Houston, Texas. And they're going to show you how to do the Tighten Up. Okay. And that's what McDonald's going to try to do, tighten things up. Yep. There'll be some trade-offs for that.
Yep.
Right? I mean, there always are. But I think that we'll see a little bit more. I think we'll see fewer wasted timeouts, fewer weird penalties that don't make a lot of sense, more accountability afterward. Those things should, in theory, be cleaned up, right? Especially with all of the communication that he's emphasizing and all of that. And a defense that is built on having a mental answer for whatever it is the offense throws at you, not just saying, whatever. There's a Archie Bell and the Drells. Thank you, Justin. Thank you. Yeah, they're from Houston, Texas.
This is the music
Yep.
tighten up with.
Yep. You know the song?
First, tighten up on the drums.
Yeah, tighten up on the drums. Hold on.
Come on now, drums.
Come on now, drums.
Tighten up on the L line.
Tighten it up for me now.
Yeah.
Tighten up on the D line.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Tighten up on that bass now.
Yeah, now let's tighten it up, those wide receivers. Thank you. Tighten those up.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Hey, offensive line, tighten up those splits.
It's growing on. This is growing on me a little
This is Archie Bell and the Drells. Yeah.
Okay.
It's got a little funk to it.
Tighten up on the organ now.
Tighten up on the organ, please. Hey, organ, tighten it up over there. We'll come right back with everything you need to know, including maybe more Archie Bell and the Drells next on Brock and Salt.
The show will be tough. Now look here.
Seattle Sports, your home for Wyman and Bob.
Something has clicked for Julio.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
RBIs, stolen bases, playing well in the outfield. I mean, he's just doing everything right now. And you can just see it in his face. There's kind of a sense of relief. Like, for a guy like that, just knows. And I think for the fans, too. Like, this is coming. We've been talking about this for a month and a half.
You see the impact he has on this lineup. I mean, just how crucial he is, and when he is hitting, when he is producing. And hopefully we're seeing the beginning of a run for him.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
You're here, and if you hear my voice this morning and you're sitting there in your car, maybe, I don't know, you got a 10-hour drive across Canada as well, and you're just in chronic pain, then you got to consider reaching out to my buddy, Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD, with Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine right there in Kirkland. He is Washington's leading specialist in interventional pain medicine. I say that confidently because for over 30 years, Dr. Daniel Nelson has helped thousands dramatically reduce or eliminate their chronic pain using interventional pain and regenerative medicine techniques long before anybody else in the business knew what they were. It's why he's one of the very few physicians in the state with the experience and the training to diagnose and treat whatever walks through the door, using a wide range of minimally invasive therapies, yes, including stem cell therapy. Now an outpatient procedure that uses your body's own natural healing process to rebuild damaged tissue, heal those injuries, and eliminate that pain. So don't let pain stop you from your quality of life. Call Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD, at 425-823-4000 or visit danielnelsonmd.com. That's danielnelsonmd.com.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer whenever I want?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. JD Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store. And now save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. For JD Power 2023 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code MONTHFREE by May 31st. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Driving safely is all about the little things. Like stopping for folks who are crossing the street, even at unmarked crosswalks. Making plenty of space for people on bikes, and choosing to wait for the next green light by slowing down and stopping on yellow. Because when you're driving, you're the biggest and fastest on the road. And that means you gotta be the safest too. Together, we get there. A message from the Washington Traffic Safety Commission.
Are you putting off your new kitchen plans? Why wait? Hi, Chad Cicchini, owner of Heritage Homecraft. Call today for a free in-home estimate. Years of experience, thousands of happy customers. Heritage Homecraft, 425-485-1600 or heritagehomecraft.com.
It's Cookies Country Chicken pregame fry time reminder. Headed to the ball game? Come on down to Cookies in Pioneer Square for some real good chicken and tell them,
make it spicy.
Fresh fried chicken at Cookies. CookiesCountryChicken.com.
The Mariners are all about giving you more baseball for your buck. Snag seats for as little as $10 on select dates all season long with Mariners Value Games. Plus, be sure to check out the Mariners Value Menu, available at every game and featuring 11 items priced from $2.50 to $4. Enjoy ballpark classics like hot dogs and peanuts, new treats like churros and chocolate chip cookies, and more. To get your value game tickets and check out all the value options at T-Mobile Park, go to mariners.com/value.
Headed outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nellie on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on seattlesports.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Feeling lucky? Don't miss the Lucky Spring Classic Collector Car Truck and Boat Auction, Saturday, June 1st at Tacoma's LeMay Marymount Event Center. Up to 200 collector, vintage, and classic vehicles. Many going to the highest lucky bidder with absolutely no reserve. Get lucky, get local, and get in line. Visit luckyoldcar.com. That's luckyoldcar.com. Or call 206-467-6531 for bidding and consignment details.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. up first.
Mariners really going for a little 4-game sweep today. They sure are. 110 start. Logan Gilbert will be on the hill against Spence Arrighetti, who has not been particularly effective. An ERA near 7, although obviously Hunter Brown didn't seem to have any problems with the Mariners lineup the other day. They waited once again until late to do any damage. And I'm going to use that term very loosely. They got a home run from Dominic Canzone early, and then J.P. Crawford with the game winner in the 10th.
The set, the pitch. Swinging a fly ball. This will be enough. Plenty enough. Tucker is back in the corner. He makes the catch. Clase is racing home. It's a walk-off sacrifice fly from J.P. Crawford. He is hoisted in the air by the caveman Luke Raley at first base, and the Mariners have just won the series. They've walked off the Astros in 10.
It was pretty impressive the way it all went down, especially given that they had the chance in the 9th and unfortunately couldn't get it done. Julio singles with 1 out, makes it to second on a stolen base, goes to third on an error with the throw, and that's when they opted to pinch hit. And with Ryan Bliss coming in to pinch hit for Josh Rojas, I understand a lot of the frustration. I was a little frustrated myself. I don't think I would have made the same decision as Scott did there. I would have stuck with Rojas even against a tough lefty and Hader, but here's his explanation for why he did it.
Josh Hader is one of the toughest lefties in the league. It's a tough spot to put Ryan up in there. So you're on the team, you got to play. When the spot calls for it, you give him opportunity and see where they go with it. I have a lot of confidence in him. He had really good swings, just underneath it a little bit, and Hader got him. But he'll learn from it. It's a good experience for him, and next time he'll be better in that situation.
I love that whole next time thing. Yep. And to me, that speaks to what Chris Petersen was talking about earlier, Brock, and just how long their seasons are.
You love that part. I love you're on the team, got to play. Like, you're on the team, man. Like, you're in the bigs now. So no excuses, no explanations. Go up there and go get your job done. Did any part of you, so Justin and I were a little bit aligned in this, any part of you think Bliss could bunt?
Yeah, it did occur to me, especially since he didn't get it down the day before.
Because he was trying to be too perfect. I mean, those were not 2 bunts that were, like, fouled. Like, they were just trying to be too perfect. There's a little part of me that just wondered, wouldn't this be one heck of a little redemption story?
I did think about it also. I'm going to guess that Houston also thought about it, which is...
the infield was absolutely up.
Well, maybe Bregman plays it in such a way that you just, I'm going to guess that might have had something to do with it. But, yeah, I absolutely considered. By the way, if you are going to do it, I think Rojas is probably a better bunter. At that point, maybe you just leave Rojas in and try to let him squeeze because he's a really good bunter. I think he's very, very effective.
I'm also wondering aloud what the Huskies howling, JP's Huskies howling, would sound like behind Goldsmith's call right there.
Right. Well, I don't know that I can make that happen for you, but
I wonder if the guy who mixes on the 1s and 2s from Libby can try to put that
I'm so glad you think of these things on the air, never off the air.
No.
Never want to do that during a commercial break or anything. You just throw it right out there.
I'm an artist.
We can just plan the show right here on the air.
And artists never know when creativity is going to hit.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
Fun conversation with the aforementioned Chris Petersen earlier as he was out at Seahawks practice last Wednesday. They're going to give it a go with another practice open to the media today. And a lot of his takeaways were about the physicality of this group, how much raw talent he sees there.
Yeah, he gave you 3 takeaways. Number 1, this is a good-looking team now. And that's what Bucky Brooks was basically alluding to and writing about. This team, just pure eyeball test, pure aesthetics. You want to drop in on 32 different franchises? There may be a lot of newness, but there is some sameness upstairs in that personnel department, the drafting department. They know what they're looking for, and there, to Chris Petersen's eyes, were a lot of tremendous-looking athletes. Number 2, there's a lot of newness. A lot of newness with a lot of new coaches all trying to get on the same page. And then number 3, and don't diminish this, Gino looked really good. Chris just, and Chris knows quarterbacks, man. He's got an eye. He knows what they're supposed to look like. He knows what timing and rhythm and accuracy and seeing at the highest level. Kellen Moore, tremendous through his years in Boise. Jake Browning, tremendous at Washington. He knows what it's supposed to look like. Into his eye, Gino was razor sharp.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
Nice win for the Oilers last night. They win 5-2 and even up that series with Dallas. And we are finally, this will be the last time, hopefully, we ever mention this again, putting to bed the Scotty Scheffler arrest situation from the PGA Championship. They are dropping all the charges. You can listen to the very southern-sounding Mike O'Connell, who's the county attorney there.
Mr. Scheffler's characterization that this was, quote, a big misunderstanding, close quote, is corroborated by the evidence.
Yeah, and then Steve Romines is Scheffler's lawyer, and yeah, here he is.
It's obvious he didn't do anything wrong. As I've said repeatedly, the more evidence that comes out, the more it shows that, Scotty was a victim here. It is remarkable the restraint and character he evidenced not only during the incident.
You're right. It went from noun to verb in back-to-back sentences.
Yeah, which is impressive. And he used it correctly both times, but wow. Can I be really, really open and honest with you for a moment?
Oh, boy.
I've never been called for jury duty, not one time in my life. I would like to be. I would be fine with it. I would really enjoy being on a jury.
Just leave the show for a month?
Sure. There's a guy here in the office who's on a big-time jury this week, as a matter of fact. I was hearing all about it. Sounds amazing. If that was the lawyer, I would instantly not believe him. Whatever came out of that guy's mouth, I will admit right now. Like, if you ask me during the jury selection process, and they say, hey, do you have any biases that might affect you? Like, yeah, if the lawyer sounds like Steve Romines, I won't believe him.
That's sad, Saul. Come on. You're better than that.
Am I?
Yes.
I don't think I am. I think I'm exactly that.
I kind of like that idea. Sitting through that. I want it to be more cartoonish, like way more Foghorn Leghorn.
I was called into jury duty one time.
How'd you do?
I told it was some injury thing. I'm like, I'm not the guy you want in that jury, pal. Nope.
I'm not your guy, pal.
Some boats
Suck it up, Buttercup.
some boats bumped in the Ballard locks, and a guy separated his shoulder, and he wants all. You don't want me on that jury.
Because you don't think anybody ever deserves it for anything, right?
Yeah, no, you can deserve it. Absolutely, you can deserve it. But I'm like, compassionate card with a separated shoulder, not real high right here. So
that's what I'm saying.
You're going to want somebody else in that jury. I'm just telling you.
That's everything you need to know, apparently.
Here you go, Brock, by the way.
The set, the pitch. Swinging a fly ball. This will be enough. Plenty enough. Tucker is back in the corner. He makes the catch. Clase is racing home. It's a walk-off sacrifice fly from J.P. Crawford. He is hoisted in the air by the caveman Luke Raley at first base. And the Mariners have just won the series. They've walked off the Astros in 10.
That's a lot of noise.
Was that worth it?
You're welcome, bro.
Please let us know. 866-979-3776.
I'm going to text in violently right now. Yes.
You can't text yourself. I'm
texting the show.
I actually know your number. Yeah, you're one of the few people whose numbers I know, so that's not going to work. We'll come right back. Brock and Salk, Seattle Sports on 710.
Seattle Sports, your home for Bump and Stacy.
Let's talk about Julio heating up.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
The best possible thing you can see is Julio playing well.
This is who this team is, man. The main component of this team is pitching and Julio. The pitching has been solid so far when he comes to the rotation. We've been waiting on Julio. I think there are 2 boxes checked so far. Rotation, Julio turning the corner, and then the third box is just the random contributor that you're going to get on any given night.
Don't miss an hour of the show. Find the podcast at seattlesports.com.
Hey, it's Mike Salk here. I know summer in Western Washington might mean something a little different for everybody. Maybe it's trips to the beach or summer barbecues, a little extra golf, or the vacation that you've been looking forward to. But when you take the pictures for all those big moments, don't you want to look and feel your very best? Eastside Weight Loss Clinic can help, and trust me, you'll do it fast. I lost 15 pounds in the first 2 weeks. I lost 35 pounds total after 8 weeks. There's time, so what are you waiting for? Schedule a 15-minute, no-obligation consultation right now at eastsideweightlossklinic.com, and you can expect safe, healthy, sustainable weight loss without pills, injections, or surgery, so it's totally safe. You'll eat real food. You just buy it at the grocery store. You'll lose weight, and then you'll look and feel your very best. It's pretty awesome. What's the secret? Call Eastside Weight Loss Clinic, and they'll tell you. 425-588-0080 is the number, or go to eastsideweightlossklinic.com. That's 425-588-0080 or eastsideweightlossklinic.com. Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
Are you stressing about your IRS tax problems? Have you received notices from the IRS threatening to garnish your wages, levy your bank accounts, or seize your property? You need an ally. Allies Tax Relief has tax attorneys and enrolled agents that are ready to fight for you. They have saved millions for taxpayers just like you. Allies Tax Relief can help put a stop to IRS collections and, most importantly, negotiate your tax debt. Here's Brenda, a happy client of Allies Tax Relief.
I owed the IRS around $57,000, and they're about to start garnishing my paychecks. I heard a commercial on the radio about Allies Tax Relief, so I thought I'd give them a call. After a day, they were able to at least stop the garnishments, and after a few months of negotiations, I walked away owing the IRS only $301.
If you owe the IRS, call Allies Tax Relief right now for your free consultation. Call 800-230-5174. 800-230-5174. That's 800-230-5174.
A slow network is no network for business. That's why more choose Comcast Business. And now we're introducing Ultimate Speed for Business, our fastest plans yet. We're up to 12 times faster than Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile. And existing customers could even get up to triple the speeds at no additional cost. All from the company with 99.9% network reliability and advanced cybersecurity. It's Ultimate Speed from Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Don't miss out on our fastest speed plans yet. Get started with internet and security for $49.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year contract. Plus, ask how to get up to an $800 prepaid card with a qualifying internet package. Don't wait. Call 1-800-501-6000 or go to ComcastBusiness.com to switch today. In 623.24, restrictions apply. New customers only with 150 megabits per second internet and security edge. Eco bill and auto pay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Compares Comcast Business 1.25 gig to 100 megabits per second of Verizon 5G Business, AT&T Wireless Broadband, and T-Mobile for Business. Up to 3 times download for existing essential and standard internet customers.
Kick off summer by checking out the incredible showroom at Toyota of Kirkland. With a wide selection of Camrys on the lot, including the brand new 2025 hybrid Camry, along with the new inventory of Tundras and Tacomas. All with a lifetime powertrain warranty, you're in for a summer to remember. The unbeatable team at Toyota of Kirkland will set up your test drive, and you can take that car home the same day. Get your summer groove on at Toyota of Kirkland or visit online at toyotaofkirkland.com.
We are Seattle Sports.
Going and going and gone. Goodbye, baseball. The Ken Jones.
The home of the Mariners.
Tired of spending endless hours on lawn care? Switch to Synthetic Turf Northwest, the Northwest leader in quality synthetic turf products and professional installation. With 28 years experience, we're your trusted source in Seattle, Tacoma, and Bellevue. Ask about our 18-month no-interest financing and start enjoying a beautiful, low-maintenance lawn today. Say goodbye to stress and hello to a lush green oasis with Synthetic Turf Northwest. SyntheticTurfNorthwest.com, 425-788-0718. Stop stressing about your lawn and start enjoying it.
Rick Riz here for the Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington's Improve Your Play program. Many of our local youth sports teams need help with field enhancements, training, and equipment. Local Pella owners Keith Dashafy and Luke Wilson are stepping up to donate $5,000 to 2 deserving teams. We need your help finding them. Head to seattlesports.com/play to nominate a deserving team in need. Let's help our local youth improve their play this year with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Contest and rules at seattlesports.com/play.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here, and I have had my share of sports injuries, and I know a little bit about pain. Well, that's what football will do to you from head to toe. But you don't have to play professional sports to know what I'm talking about. Painful joints from arthritis can affect anyone and make it hard to do pretty much anything. Well, that's where my friend, Dr. Daniel Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine comes into play. He has seen so many patients through the years suffering from chronic joint pain caused by arthritis. So don't let pain stop you from your quality of life. Don't let pain stop you from enjoying life. Consider Dr. Nelson the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. That's right, your own stem cells and platelet-rich plasma to harness your own body's healing potential. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit DanielNelsonMD.com. That's DanielNelsonMD.com.
This is Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
You like controversy, Brock, especially in baseball? You like a little second guessing? We talked through this earlier about what Scott would have and could have and maybe should have done in the ninth inning last night. It worked out, and I did wonder if maybe it would have gone a little differently if they had been down a run, if maybe then you do give Rojas the shot because you trust the veteran more in that spot than the numbers against the lefty. But tied, there's not a lot of downside. Maybe the kid comes up with a big moment, and that's awesome. Maybe he doesn't, but you give him the experience and you learn a little bit more about him. And oh, by the way, you're still going to go to the 10th and have another opportunity to win it then. And also his ability to maybe stay out of a double play. So I understand why Scott did it. I don't know that I would have done it that way, but okay, a little bit of controversy there.
Okay, a couple things.
Okay.
Well, just a couple things on those. I remember my late, great, dear friend, Dory Monson, telling me before I got into this 16, 17 years ago, he's like, oh, the great thing, you'll love baseball. It's so awesome. We're the flagship of the Mariners. And Dory, cut his teeth doing baseball and then football and obviously everything else. But he's like, baseball has so many on a day-to-day storylines and decisions and, choices, and they make the right move and, the bullpen. And, that was just a perfect example of it last night, and I'm always fascinated, like, when was that decision made? Is you plan for every situation as they go into those games? And we know behind the scenes, Salk, that it's not just, Lou Piniella and a gut feeling.
Right, not anymore.
These decisions are made beforehand. There's a massive amount of information. Brian Brown also brought in to kind of help take that maybe to the next level to some degree with the numbers and the odds and all of it. And I'd just be very curious as they play the game out, as Scott's playing it out like a great coordinator does in football, right? You're never just calling the play in the moment. You're a play ahead, 2 plays ahead. So as this thing is unfolding, right, and he's using his bench, and he knows haters coming in, and you're facing, and he's looking at that card like, okay, what are we going to do here? Do we stick with Rojas, lefty on lefty? And you mentioned Rojas' splits this year.
Brutal.
Against lefties. And you mentioned hater splits versus lefties. And
it's striking out 50% of the lefties he sees.
It's not good odds.
No.
It's not good odds.
And by the way, nobody's going to have good odds in this spot because Hader's nasty.
But by the way, the guy also that you put in there has not had a major league hit yet.
Right, there is that. But he didn't need a major league hit.
Nope.
He only needed a major league, fly ball. That would have been enough. In any event, it didn't work. It ends up working the next inning as they win it anyway. And so, everything is avoided.
Yep.
Controversy in New York, though, does not get avoided. And I got to play this for you because I know I've listened to it any number of times. This kind of became a big thing.
Scheffler's lawyer again, isn't it?
Thankfully, no. No, we're not playing that. This is Jorge Lopez, who's probably not a familiar name to most people. He's a journeyman reliever, right? He was pitching with the Mets until today. And he had a tough day, and then he threw his glove into the stands afterwards, which is kind of a no-no, at least from everything I've ever been told about playing professional baseball.
Is that an unwritten rule?
Yeah, in frustration, you generally don't want to throw any of your equipment, starting with your glove, up into the stands. But, we all handle things differently. So he's asked about it afterwards at his locker and was asked whether or not he regretted that decision.
Carlos Mendoza said that he understands the emotion, but that particular action of throwing your glove into the stands was unacceptable. Looking back on it, do you regret doing that?
No, I don't regret it. I think I've been looking the worst teammate probably in the whole MLB. So, whatever happened. So, whatever they want to do it, I'll be tomorrow here if they want me. Whatever they want to do. So.
Just to clarify what you said, just because I didn't fully understand, did you say I'm on the worst team? Is that what you had said?
Yeah, probably. It looked like.
Yeah, so this gets a little confusing, right? Because anybody listening to it probably had the same initial reaction, which is, wait, did he say he's on the worst team, or did he say he's the worst teammate?
Right.
Because it's a little hard to tell. I think to most of our ears, it sounds like he says teammate, which would make sense. I feel like the worst teammate in all of baseball right now, after what he just did, throwing his glove into the stands, and I assume giving up a lead or something like that ahead of time for a team that's been struggling. Well, then he's given that opportunity to clarify, and he doesn't really. Maybe he didn't understand. Maybe he truly did say team. I think it's still certainly up for some level of question. I will be honest, after listening to it for like the 20th time, I'm wondering whether he truly knows what the word regret means, right? Do you regret your actions? No. It sounds like he does regret his actions, that he knows they were horrible, and you're not supposed to do that. It makes me wonder if he doesn't truly know what the word regret means. I don't know. I don't presume to have any real knowledge, but what a tough spot everybody now is in. He's been DFA'd. They're going to move on, but a really weird situation.
Another note of context here. Sorry, I'm just seeing that Boomer Esiason on his show today said that a friend reached out to him and let him know that Jorge Lopez is also going through something off the field where his son is ill and waiting for a transplant.
Oh.
So he was so emotional already.
Makes sense.
Yes.
He may be just having a hard time in general.
Yeah, he had snapped. I mean, he had totally snapped, and probably had not calmed down even before that. And you know what? Maybe a better run organization doesn't put that player up front and just says, hey, we'll own this. We'll take the bullets for this one. Like, I'm sorry. You're just not going to. He is just not in a place where we're going to have that conversation. And, but that place does not have a lot of continuity. So that's also, right, a new manager and new situation. And it seems like newness is the word of the day. And to some degree yesterday, and that's not what we have here. You have continuity here. You have a well-run organization with the Mariners here in that regard that are going to protect theirs, and that's just a bad scene.
One last thing before you guys move on from this. Alden Gonzalez, who ESPN baseball reporter, tweeted a response and said, regardless of whether or not it was the reason he was DFA'd, because there was some, right, like he was sort of forcing the hand by swearing and saying,
right,
and like not clarifying.
But also he hasn't pitched well either, right?
Sure.
Like he might have been DFA'd no matter what
Totally
had just happened.
fair, but Alden Gonzalez said, and this is more of a social media take, a tweet like this that has more than 4 million engagements, it's what everyone remembers from last night. And whoever posted it did so without being totally sure. Even more important, given that English is a second language. It's still part of the story, is that once that's the narrative,
right, it never changes.
It's not going to be corrected, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of this.
It's a cautionary tale for some.
Yeah,
several roles.
it is, and it's in a lot of ways too bad, because I think we've been really, we've talked through how great it is when young ball players, especially Spanish-speaking ball players, figure out how to, speak in English and take lessons and learn it, and eventually it's really cool when they start feeling comfortable enough to do interviews or media sessions in English. We've talked about it with Andres Munoz and how cool it is for him this year. Obviously, Julio and just his ability to speak and communicate in English is consistently tremendous and just always blows us away. This, I guess, could be an argument in the other direction. On the other hand, I think it's okay to praise Andres Munoz and say, hey, man, in a cool, safe environment, it's cool to do that. Maybe in a really tense environment like you're in there, maybe that's not the best time to maybe that's an opportunity to say, hey, can you get me a translator for this so I make sure I get it right?
That's right. So, ugly situation all the way around.
Yeah. Anyway, that's the deal in New York. Nice to not be dealing with things like that. And instead, you're on a 4-game win streak and finding ways to win. How important is that the Mariners keep finding new ways to win?
Yep, it reminds me. I was saying to Maura and Justin off the air, so some of the stuff I do off the air, some of my creativity and artistry just comes on the air. I was saying this feels like
artistry, huh?
Yeah, artistry. I'm an artist.
You're an artiste.
Yeah, I'm no longer a blacksmith. Okay, I'm an artist. That's what I do and what I am.
That's how I describe you to everybody.
Yeah, thank you, appreciate it. And your mom and dad love my ranked, and we got a ranked in 5 minutes. I'm trying to think of who this team reminds me either of a team I played for. Maybe a little bit of my Colts team, in 2003 that kind of came together, new pieces, and it had a lot of depth and certainly had some superstar talent that played really, really well. But this team is I'm still formulating, and there's a lot of baseball still to play. But to win at home, to win these close games, that's nothing new. Right, a couple years ago when they made their run to the playoffs and won the series, they won close games. This was their recipe. We're fine with this. We're fine with chaos ball. We're fine with making it hard. How many times over 14 years, and I think Pete and Scott totally aligned in this way. Pete Carroll, Scott Service, let's go. Let's rope a dope to the 9th inning and let's go. Totally and completely comfortable.
Yep.
Even if it's really sometimes difficult.
And I'll tell you what,
fanatics.
What's interesting about this team? I mentioned it last night on our email, but I never ever got a chance to mention it today. Their at-bats get better.
They do.
They take better at bats
They
late in
do.
games against these ridiculously good relievers. I can't explain why. I would sure like it if they had some of those same at bats earlier in games. That wouldn't, kill you to have some of the same good at bats earlier. But they really do. They have better at bats late in games. Say what you want about the decision on Bliss and Rojas and all that. He had a good at bat.
Yes, he did.
It didn't end up working out, but he had a good at bat.
Yep.
Haniger, who's been really, really, really challenged here over the last few weeks. The at bat he had the night before to hit a double with 2 outs, huge, hugely important at bat. JP finding a way to get that ball, out into the outfield last night to win the game.
Don Canzone moving a runner over.
100%. They have better at bats late in games, and it would be easy to say, oh, well, it must just be the bad relievers. No. They've come against some of the best relievers in baseball, which continues to be confounding.
In 13 and 14, I think people misremember a little bit and think like the Seahawks were the most dominant team in the league and the run to the Super Bowl and then back to the Super Bowl. If those of us remember who lived through those, they were often fourth quarter games. And we would often go, why can't this offense do in the first and second quarter what they seemingly do and clicking in the fourth quarter with game-winning drives and one-score wins and one-score games and right, like where is this offense? They go to halftime how many different times and they put up the first half stats and the Seahawks have 1 first down.
Why do you think Pete needed to give his "Can you win the game" in the first quarter speech?
That's exactly right. But then all of a sudden, like when it matters, not that you just click in, but we're comfortable playing this kind of game. We're comfortable, taking some strikeouts. We're comfortable running that pitch count up. We're comfortable playing in this style and in this vein, and certainly have got a bunch of buy-in with it.
Yeah. Also, it wouldn't kill them to have better at bats earlier, though, would it?
No, and I think Mr. Serengeti, is it Serengeti?
It's not Serengeti. It's Arrighetti.
Arrighetti.
Yes.
Is certainly a guy with a totally beat up rotation with the Astros. And you said, hey, what's happened to him? Because they do look different. And you point to the pitching. And I'm like, well, Framber Valdez week 1 after the first inning, Justin Verlander yesterday, and certainly the Hunter Brown guy over this month has gotten it going. Today, you should feel their pain. Today, this is a AAA guy.
Oh, and by the way, you've also used up their bullpen quite a bit in the first 3 games also. So not only are they pitching a guy that probably shouldn't be a major league starter.
Yes.
You've done it against Abreu and Press. You've seen all of their best bullpen options as well.
Yep. So while you never just ask for a sweep, and they're nearly impossible, especially 4 gamers and all the talent Houston still had, this is the one where the deck, last night, you knew face card versus face card.
Yeah.
If you're going to use a blackjack analogy, right? You just knew, okay, yep, this one is going to be a heck of a matchup, and Verlander's, dialed in and healthy, and this one today feels like face card versus a 5.
Yeah, this is one you want to win.
You want to win this one.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think folks who were upset about the offense last night, I don't really know what to tell you. Justin Verlander's going to have nights like he did last night, and in a matter of fact, I would say that's kind of what you're hoping for in a game like Kirby versus Verlander, right? Is just keep it close, match him step for step, and try to find a way to win it late. That's exactly what they did. That's the recipe for beating a guy like Justin Verlander, especially when you don't have any kind of tremendous offensive talent yourself. Today, right? Day baseball, Logan Gilbert on the hill, going up against, what did you call him? The Serengeti?
Yeah, the Serengeti.
Spencer the Serengeti. This is probably a game where you would expect a little bit more offense.
You know what I'm feeling today, by the way? Every once in a while I get these little gut feelings.
Oh.
You know what I'm feeling today? I'm feeling a Cal bomb today. I'm feeling like these.
Have you seen something that's making you say that's likely to occur? Because his bats recently have been tough.
I saw a guy that, watched somebody else for 7 innings, 6 innings with Garver. And, it's a guy that's been beat up, a guy that I am sure stuff's going on behind the scenes that we never know until kind of after the fact with a.
You don't even need to not know. You saw him take a ball off the toe the other night. That looked brutal.
Swinging at stuff way out of the zone. I think today is a day that Cal may hit one off that
So you
glass.
don't think that it's a Sebi Zavala day?
I don't know. Following, yesterday, it might be.
I mean, Cal didn't play last night. He came in and pinch hit, but
he caught the last couple innings, so it wasn't a total night off for him.
Continue to wonder when that change will end up being made. But all right, well, I appreciate it, Brock. Maybe we'll see a Cal bomb today. That would be a lot of fun. Right now, let's rank.
Got a list? Time to put it in order.
Fred Dwumfor's house. Top five meals that I have ever had.
This is Ranked.
To be honest, their list was really biased.
Every morning at 9:45 on Brock and Salk.
Top 10 list. I'm not buying that.
Ranked.
We're ranking milk today, Brock. Milk.
Yeah. What's your favorite kind of milk, Brock?
Smith Brothers milk that was delivered at the Heward House on 9th Street.
Smith Brothers certainly be on the list.
What's your favorite kind of milk, Brock? You regular milk guy?
Of course, our guy Milkman Jay. He's not Fireman Jay.
No. I'm a 2%er.
Almond, oak. No? Okay.
It's funny. You strike me as a 1%er in so many other ways.
2%. I'll leave that there. And your mom and dad are chuckling, and they're so happy that you now get to rank and get to do things like that. Great. They didn't love my emotion and passion and meathead caveman yesterday. That's fine.
I like your ranked.
You know what I think the problem was yesterday, Brock? And I think this is the way my parents would probably describe you. You're just a little milquetoast.
Yeah, I knew it was coming.
That's just not accurate.
I didn't think you'd take that one out of the bag so quick.
Well, and you don't listen to Dead Milkmen or anything like that. You've probably never even been to Milk Drunk over in Beacon Hill.
So what?
Why not?
Milk Drunk. I went there a couple weeks ago for
Fried
chicken.
chicken.
It's really good.
It's fantastic.
Really?
You ever read, can you imagine Brock reading,
Yes.
Reading what?
Huh? The idea of it, honestly, was so funny to me that I don't even think I can talk through it.
Okay. 509 says the milkman, Carl Malone.
For sure. He always delivers. You got Harvey Milk.
Oh, and then the movie he made.
You got Milk of Magnesia.
Yes.
Yes.
Who's
That's just my baby dog. That's just my baby dog. That's just my baby dog.
Yep.
That's just my baby dog.
Yep.
That's just my
TikTok
baby
people know that.
Wow.
What is that?
What?
I don't know. It's one of those things people use about dogs, but it's by somebody named something Milky.
Was that a goat?
Milky?
No, it's a person.
Oh.
Yeah. Milky.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a Milky Chance. I put some Milky Chance in the system.
What's Milky Chance?
You might actually know the song.
Really?
Yeah. It was big on
Doesn't sound
the
familiar.
radio for a while.
I want you. We can bring it on the floor. Never danced like this before.
Oh, I do know this song.
Talk about
Yeah, it's Milky Chance. I like that, man.
We got Milk by Nirvana.
Off the In Utero album. Yeah, you can't play the part where they actually mention milk, though.
We've got
You
Milk
ever
and
feel
Honey.
bad? You ever feel bad for Milky Way?
Well, we're
Like
getting
it
there.
just, it was just head to head with Snickers for all those years.
Don't
and
talk
it's just-
to my dad about that. That is his favorite. That's
the one.
That was
That
my-
is his
that-
number one of ones.
That was Hoppy's favorite.
Yeah.
Oma.
She's just a shot to even care. That's why I'm out for something. 'Cause something's more than nothing. It's alright.
I like that song, too.
Yeah, the Milk and Honey.
No milk and honey. No milkweed.
We've got O'Connelly by Neutral Milk Hotel.
Yes. Somebody out there is going to know it, but this was a fantastic album, too.
I will be with you.
Okay.
Oh, Neutral Milk
Say
Hotel,
so.
so good.
I know that the Always Sunny fans will want this.
How about your favorite food? What would that be?
Oh, milk steak.
I'm not putting milk
Just
steak.
put steak. Just
I'm gonna put
regular
steak.
steak and then
Don't
that way
put
it's
steak.
too
Put milk steak. She'll know what it is. No, she won't know what it is,
She'll
Charlie.
know
Nobody
what it
knows what
is.
that is.
That was funny. Early Red Hot Chili Peppers. The album was Mother's Milk.
Not top 5?
No.
Hey.
Tough top 5.
Is this People's Court?
Yeah.
Yes, it's People's Court. It's good, Brock.
Thanks.
That was pretty good. You know about Milk, the makeup brand? That is
pretty
similar.
close.
Yeah. And then they both use the base. Yeah. You like Milk Duds? I always confuse Milk Duds and Whoppers.
Oh, my dad.
Milk, oh, very different.
I know.
Oh, my dad loves Milk Duds.
Yeah, I don't really like Milk Duds. I like Whoppers. Whoppers are the
Malt balls.
malt balls. I like those, yeah. Dogs like Milk Bones, of course.
Oh, yeah.
And you got all the different types of milk. Like Avery likes the oat milk. There's almond milk, soy milk, condensed milk, evaporated milk, powdered milk, malted milk, coconut milk.
Too much. There's too much.
A lot of different types of milk. You ready for the top? Oh, Milk Money, of course, with Melanie Griffith.
Wait, that's not a top 5
and
milk?
Ed Harris. No.
Man, that was a movie for me.
Yeah. Brock, I was going to ask earlier if you'd ever read or watched A Clockwork Orange.
That has been on the television, flipping through channels at times.
Imagine you watching
with
that.
the guy's eyes pried open.
Yeah.
Don't watch that.
Anyway, they got the Cordova milk bar as a big part of that.
Bar.
Mm-hmm.
All right, are you ready for the top 5? Number 5, Brock, since you mentioned it earlier.
Sorry, I was eating a Milky Way.
That's right. Milky Way, the candy bar, number 5.
Uh-huh. It just was always, I don't know.
It's missing
like the Buffalo
something.
Bills. Right, it's there. It's on the grand stage, but just can't finish like Snickers. It's just not Snickers.
Well, because missing the peanuts.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, like, it's a good candy bar, and it's
And Snickers so well advertised through so many
also
decades.
True. Its
right?
simplicity helps it, I would say, but it also kind of hurts it.
You don't cry over
spilt milk, obviously. I think we all know that. Number 4.
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, it's better than yours. Damn right, it's better than yours. I could teach
Get the water moving, Brock.
No.
Does Kellis get...
So here's the other challenge with the Milky Way, too.
Khalees, excuse me.
Very similar to Rolo. Like a Rolo.
That's my dad's other favorite.
Oh, shocker.
Yeah, I know. He's a big caramel guy.
He's so simple.
He is. That's how I describe him to everybody. Here's my dad. He's very simple.
He wears a jock strap when he swims, and he likes Milky Ways and Rolos.
Oh, wow. Ugh.
I don't know whether that's like the way I would define him, but it's fair. Number 4, anyway, is when milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. Number 3.
I drink your milkshake. I drink it up.
There will be blood. You have a milkshake, and I have a straw. My straw.
Forgot about it.
So
It's
good.
really good.
So good. So good.
Oh, we got a text from the 425. My last name is Milky.
Interesting.
What's up, Andrew and Kayla?
Andrew Milky?
Yeah.
Andrew Milky.
Thanks for the text.
What's up, dude?
Have a great day. Shout out, Andrew Milky.
Yeah.
Shout out, Andrew Milky. Number 2, Milk Ranked, The Church.
Man, without Mother's Milk,
Yeah.
this is a surprise.
I'm super into New Wave recently.
That's not The Cure.
It sounds like The Cure.
It's all those bands that take themselves
The
too
Cure,
seriously.
The
Yes, Maura, you're right.
Smiths,
Is that psychedelic garage
Echo
band
and the
stuff?
Bunnymen, all of it. No, that's New Wave. It's like British New Wave from the 80s.
And that can only
From the
leave
80s?
what?
Yeah, from the 80s.
That was from the 80s?
That's from the 80s.
Wow.
Very much so. You don't think that sounds like it's from the 80s?
Give it to me again.
Guys, this is awesome.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I got it the second time around. And number 1.
Well, I would think number 1 is fairly obvious. Got milk. Just number 1, Got Milk.
Yeah.
The whole campaign, the mustaches and everything.
Simple.
Quite a campaign.
Keep it simple.
So simple.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Shout out to Lefko for suggesting jokingly that you guys rank milk, and
Yeah.
then you immediately.
He didn't know that we could do it.
Don't do it again.
He didn't have a lot of faith in
Hey,
us.
Lefko, give these two knuckleheads ideas.
Talk about milk toast.
Produce ranked every day. Just send something. They'd love it.
All right. Bump and Stacy are coming up next, thankfully.
From
I'm
T-Mobile.
gonna go watch Milk Money.
They get Hollander today?
Yes, 11 o'clock,
Yes.
I believe.
Yeah, good for them.
I hope they follow up on the whole whether or not Andres Munoz and the rest of the Mariner guys were. I'm sorry, if the hitters rather. I'm confusing two stories. If it was the hitters who convinced them to go get Mike Baumann. I
He
kind of
looked good last night.
He did. I got the win. All right, stick around for Bump and Stacy. We'll see you guys tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Until then, the hay.
In the bar.
See everybody.
Get to the chopper!
Seattle Sports, your home for Bump and Stacy.
Mike McDonald to Adam Schefter said that Sam can still lead from a backup role. What's that mean when you're reading between the lines? Sam is a backup. Gino is your starter. But I'm still making this the hype train. Gino will be your starter for 17 games.
As long as Gino does not get injured, he is the guy. That's easy for me.
Gino will be your starter for 17 games. Curtis, are you boarding? I don't see it. I think Sam Howell will be under center to start at least one game this season.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Paid for by GovMint.com.
Have you heard? A recent stash of 1881 Morgan silver dollar coins has been found. These gorgeous 1881S silver dollar coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck. Only a limited quantity of these Morgan silver dollar coins are available. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone interested in silver coins. Just call Government at 1-800-386-7195 and you are guaranteed a mint condition 1881S Morgan silver dollar featuring the iconic S mint mark of the San Francisco Mint. But with limited quantity, you must call now. These 1881S silver coins are still in uncirculated condition. That is 140 years of history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-386-7195. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $25 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-386-7195 now to secure your 1881S Morgan silver dollars before they sell out. That's 1-800-386-7195.
You want more speed? Well, you're in luck because Xfinity just increased their internet speeds and they are faster than ever. Plus, with super fast internet and that reliable connection, you can do more of what you love whenever you want. So that means more gaming. So when my son Titus has his entire baseball team over and they're all gaming, no problem. That means more downloading, more video chatting our kids from away. And for the wife and I, yeah, maybe that means more nights on the couch streaming our favorite movies and TV shows every single night. It's time to get more out of your internet with faster speeds from Xfinity. And now through June 21st, get 150 megabit Xfinity internet for only $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract. That's double the speed for the same great price. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or go visit that Xfinity store today. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with store bank account. Restrictions apply. Equipment taxes and other charges extra. After promo, regular rates apply. Actual speeds vary and not guaranteed. Make the call to 1-800-XFINITY.
To me, the LJ way is to